Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Jacksonville, Florida, for the Live Like Lou Jack's College Baseball Classic, presented by D1 Baseball and Peak Events. It's the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame against the Fighting Tigers of defending national champion LSU. Come on inside VyStar Ballpark. This is Ben McDonald, Olympic gold medal winner, a College Baseball Hall of Famer, and a Golden Spikes Award winner. I'm Lynn Rollins. Yesterday, LSU, Ben, won for the 6th time this year, but it did not come easily against Indiana.
No, I tell you, the Hoosiers gave the number 2 team in the country all they wanted yesterday. Matter of fact, Indiana held a 1-run lead going into the top of the 8th inning, and then Zach York, the big fella, better known as Big Poppy, just buries a ball out towards right center field. At the time it was hit, everybody thought it was going to be a ground rule double, and Derek Curiel would come around and score right there. But after further review, ended up being a 3-run shot for the big fella, his 3rd long ball of the year. The Tigers had tied it up at 5-5 right there. And then Seth Dardar, the senior, steps to the plate just a couple batters later. He hits a ball off the wall himself. It kicks away. LSU would score 2 more runs right there. Matter of fact, the Tigers would tack on 9 runs in the top of the 8th inning and go on to knock off Indiana 14-7.
In the nightcap, Notre Dame took on UCF. The Fighting Irish had things in order until very late.
Yeah, it was about their pitching. I'll tell you what, Jack Riddell was outstanding, Lynn. He was perfect. That's how good he was. 6 innings of work. He struck out 9 along the way, but UCF would score 1 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th to force extra innings, and then in the top of the 10th inning, a big base hit right there. Scores 2 runs. UCF would tack on 2 in the top of the 10th and knock off Notre Dame. A come-from-behind victory, 4-2.
Well, let's take a look at the Notre Dame starting lineup this afternoon against LSU. Drew Birkland leads off in center field. Bino Waters is the left fielder. Mark Quattrani is behind the plate. Parker Brustevich bats next. Jace Lee is the right fielder. Noah Coy at shortstop. The DH is Chase Vandermeed. Dylan Passo holds down first base, and Jamie Z is the second baseman, and that's a lineup which will take its cuts against Cooper Moore. He's had 1 start this year and was very good.
Yeah, Cooper Moore comes from Kansas, a transfer from Kansas, where he won 7 games in that weekend rotation for the Jayhawks. Boy, he did not disappoint his first outing as an LSU Tiger. How about this? 6 innings of work, 4 hits. He did give up 1 run, but did not walk a batter and punched out 11, Lynn. You talk about throwing the strikes. He was a strike thrower last Saturday. Matter of fact, he threw 80% strikes against Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So we'll see how well he's going to do against Notre Dame.
Conditions are perfect again for baseball here in Jacksonville, Florida. Lots of blue overhead with a great deal of sunshine. Temperature's going to be in the 80s today as we continue with day 2 of the Live Like Lou Jack's Classic. LSU in its white uniforms as we continue to warm up. The Tigers, over the course of the last 2 years, have the longest winning streak in the country. They've won 14 consecutive games, 8 games in postseason last year, and then the first 6 games of 2026.
That's right. As a matter of fact, this is Jay Johnson's 5th year at LSU, and this is his best start in his career at LSU, a 6-0 start for Jay Johnson and LSU. So Tigers number 2 team in the country. UCLA the number 1 team in the country. This ought to be a good ball game here.
Yes, it should.
And the weather, as you mentioned, you couldn't order it any better than this.
And Ben, as you mentioned, LSU off to a 6-0 start this year. It's the first time that Jay Johnson has won his first 6 games at LSU. Birkland, the center fielder, brings a 105 average to the plate. He's only 2 for 19.
Yeah, Notre Dame has struggled. And again, it's early in the year, only 4 games in for Notre Dame, but team batting average of 261. They're averaging just 6 runs per game. So offensively, not quite got going yet.
They have not hit a lot of home runs.
Now, what they have done well is pitch, and they have pitched outstanding. Their team ERA is down right at 3, which is a really, really good number. But wait for that offense to get going.
Birkland will be followed by Bino Waters and Mark Quattrani. The 1-1 pitch hit on the ground to Milam, who was brilliant yesterday in several defensive efforts. And he fires it over to Zach York for the out.
Cooper Moore is a contact pitcher. He loves to create contact. He's going to sink the fastball mostly. He likes that two-seam fastball, and it's not big-time velocity. It's above average. He'll be in that 89 to 94 range typically. Changeup, curveball, cutter, and a slider. So it is a true five-pitch mix, but make no mistake about it, his best secondary pitch is that changeup. As a matter of fact, his first start of the year, Lynn, he actually threw more changeups than what he did fastballs.
He's got one of the best off-speed deliveries in the country.
He does a good job of shoving that fastball inside to both the left and the right-handed hitters to kind of speed those bats up a little bit to be able to get to his best offering, which is that changeup.
Changeups for many pitchers qualify as an occasional pitch. For Cooper Moore, he'll throw it 3, 4, 5, 6 times in a row.
And the evolution of the changeup has been grand. You go back 20 or 30 years ago, a changeup was a pitch that was actually made to be hit but not on the barrel. That was the idea of the changeup. But now the changeup has evolved into a more of a swing and miss kind of strikeout pitch, with the way they're able to pronate it and turn the ball over with these circle changes and get that really good movement down and away from the opposite hand hitters.
The 1-2 pitch. Nubbed it toward the right side. Seth Dardar charges, scoops it over with his glove hand, and got him at first base. And Notre Dame immediately signals it wants to take another look at this. The Fighting Irish have immediately called for a challenge and a review.
Now let's take a look at this. Seth Dardar comes in right here. And it's really the only play. He's playing so far back. Him and Milam kind of got in each other's way. And Seth Dardar with a glove flip, but it was almost like a changeup glove flip. It was not much of a pace on it at all. And I'm with you. I'm not sure Waters didn't beat that out.
So we have a very early challenge on the number to the right side that Dardar charged. And as that ball got into the webbing of his glove, he tried to flip it out of his glove over to first base.
Well, you see where he started. And of course, he was playing almost short right field. He was way back on the grass, so he had a lot of ground to cover.
Let's take another look.
That's a flip from a long way there and just not getting enough pace on it. And it looks like to be out.
Oh, he's safe easily.
This should not take very long.
No, they're going to break the huddle and overturn this, I'm quite sure. So it's an infield hit on the little topper to the right side, and Mark Quattrani will come to the plate with a teammate aboard.
Quattrani has had a good year from a batting standpoint so far, hitting .462. He is leading Notre Dame in batting average. No power numbers to speak of, no homers, just 1 RBI.
In the lineup today, Notre Dame has accounted for only 2 home runs this year. The pitch to the Notre Dame catcher. And it's a strike. Parker Brustevich is on deck. 1 on, 1 out. We've just started LSU and Notre Dame, game 1 of the Live Like Lou Jack's College Baseball Classic in its 3rd year in Jacksonville, Florida. The outfield is deep and pulling this young man a little bit. That pitch missed somehow, and you heard the roar of disapproval by the LSU fans.
You could see Cooper Moore, the LSU pitcher. He was bouncing off the mound. He thought he had a strikeout right there.
He remains ahead in the account. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out and 1 on. Quattrani swings through that one. So Cooper Moore, who was brilliant in his first start of the year, and then a week later gets his 2nd start. He strikes out Quattrani with a runner at first.
Little cutter that he has, and again, it is a true 5-pitch mix, and it's 5 pitches that are used all the time. We hear a lot of pitchers, oh, well, I throw 5 pitches, but they very seldom use 2 or 3 of them. But it is a real 5-pitch mix for Cooper Moore.
Notre Dame has won 2 and lost 2 this year. The Tigers are 6-0. That one got there on the inside corner.
Notre Dame, as you mentioned, off to that 2-2 start, projected by D1 Baseball to be a regional team this year.
Parker Brustevich is hitting .375. He's 6 for 16. All of his hits have been singles. This one's pretty well tagged, but coasting back to get it is Derek Curiel. And so a base runner on an infield hit, but nothing doing for the Fighting Irish. LSU coming to the plate for the first time.
Welcome to the powerhouse of college baseball, where the lights shine brighter, the fans scream louder, and the power is always on.
The Live Like Lou Jack's College Baseball Classic is presented by Peak Events, home of the best outside of Omaha. Follow @PeakEvents on social media to keep up with the best in early season college baseball. Peak Events sponsoring this tournament for the third straight year in Jacksonville. LSU lines up like this: Derek Curiel in center field, Stephen Milam the shortstop, Jake Brown the right fielder. Zach York, who homered yesterday, is at first base. Kate Arambidi, who had a big day offensively, is the DH today after catching yesterday. Seth Dardar also was a big contributor offensively. He plays second base. Omar Cerna gets the start behind the plate today, the youngster hitting seventh. Braden Simpson is the left fielder, and Trent Caraway bats ninth at third base, and he has been wonderful at the bottom of the order, hitting .400 right now. Caraway really good offensively down in the order. And Ben, this is a lineup which will take its cuts against Caden Kroll.
Yeah, Kroll just a true freshman, but he is a big kid, 6'4", 205 pounds, and well thought of coming out of high school. Coming out of high school in Indiana, played both basketball and baseball, but he was the top-rated left-handed pitcher in the state of Indiana and rated the 15th best overall left-handed pitcher coming out of high school. So a lot of scouts thought a bunch about him, and D1 Baseball loves him too. They named him the number 9 impact freshman in D1 Baseball this year, and he had a really solid start his first time out against Florida Atlantic. He ended up going 3 innings, did not allow a hit or a run. Now, he walked 4, but he struck out 3, but it's really good stuff from the left side. Fastballs 90 to 94, little slider and changeup as well.
So Derek Curiel steps in from the left side against the southpaw, and the first pitch curls its way outside. Ball 1. LSU surrendered an infield hit in the top of the inning, but then took care of business with the final 2 hitters. And Kroll finds the strike zone. Curiel taking a look at that one.
Derek Curiel had himself a nice game yesterday.
He
2
did.
for 5 with an RBI.
Hitting .320 on the year. Interestingly enough, Ben, all 8 of his hits have been singles. No, I beg your pardon. There's been 1 extra base hit, and that's been a double, but everything else has been a 1-base blow. He's capable of providing home runs here and there, and certainly extra bases. He's driven in 5 at the top of the order. Two and two.
Well, it was Derek Curiel who stepped to the plate in the 8th inning yesterday to kind of get it going for LSU as they entered the 8th inning down 1, but he would have a leadoff single, and then the floodgates opened up as the Tigers pushed across 9 runs in the 8th inning yesterday.
Milam and Brown will follow here in the bottom of the first. It is a splendid day for baseball. The wind is blowing from right to left, and Curiel draws a base on balls. Let's check the umpire crew today. Working the plate is Danny Cricks. Adam Clark is at first base. Jason Bradley is the second base umpire, and Brian Hale will make the calls at third. Here's Milam. He was good yesterday at the plate as well and played a sensational shortstop on several very difficult offerings. He was challenged and he passed the test both offensively and defensively.
Yes, he did.
Milam, his first pitch swinging, hits it to the backhand side of his counterpart, and that's a whale of a play by Noah Coy. Noah Coy, with all of his momentum going away from the bag, got it over to Paso, who made a nice stretch and plucked it for the out.
This is as good a play as you'll see anywhere in college baseball today, because Noah Coy hard, and I mean running hard towards third base, throws it all across his body with some pace to it, and a really nice finish by Paso on the back end. Big time play.
Indeed it was. Curiel was able to get to second. He's in scoring position for Jake Brown, who was hitless yesterday. Brown lobs one out into left center field. It's going to carry into the glove of Bino Waters. And that's quickly the second out. That ball looked like it might find the gap when it left the bat. But Waters cruised over to make the play in left center. Here's Zach York.
Zach York had the big blow and began the comeback for the Tigers in the 8th inning yesterday. Remember, he got that plus count, a 2-0 count, and got a fastball and a 3-run homer out toward right center field.
It takes a big knock to get it out of the ballpark in right center, because there is a brick wall above what normally would be the fence height at about 10 feet. That brick wall is at least 15 feet higher. So you've got to hit it above a yellow line out there in right center field. Probably about 25 feet. There it is. You've got to get it over that yellow line, and there's brick between the yellow line and the surface.
From what we've seen from Zach York this year, he has no problem stretching one out every now and then. He stretched that one out yesterday. That was his 3rd long ball of the year at the time, his 7th RBI.
2 outs, and Curiel waits 180 feet away from the plate. He takes a decent lead from second base. The pitch, check swing, and he committed. So Zach York strikes out against Caden Crowell. Each team got a first inning base runner, but nothing more. We move to the second. Notre Dame, nothing. LSU, nothing. The Live Like Lou Jack's College Baseball Classic is brought to you by D1Baseball.com. No one covers college baseball like D1 Baseball, covering every game from coast to coast. D1 Baseball is the resource for college baseball fans. Don't you be without it. D1Baseball.com. Ben McDonald, Lynn Rollins with you here in Jacksonville. A gorgeous day unfolding for baseball. There'll be a nightcap this evening, and LSU tomorrow will play UCF in the final game of this 3-game tournament.
UCF and Indiana will follow this one.
Jace Lee is the first hitter. He's had a good start at 385. Then we mentioned that from a home run standpoint, in the lineup today for Notre Dame, there's only 2 collective homers. LSU, on the other hand, in this lineup has 11.
Well, Notre Dame, not really known for its power. They only hit 63 home runs last year, Lynn, so out of the gate with 3 so far this year. But as the weather warms up, I'm sure they're going to hit the ball out of the ballpark a little bit more.
Cooper Moore has looked sharp early. He surrendered an infield hit to the right side on a very slow roller. And works ahead 2 strikes to Jace Lee. And he takes care of him. A swinging strike. Only 3 pitches needed.
Well, this is kind of what we saw from Cooper Moore in his first start at LSU last weekend. I mean, he just fills up the zone. And, you know, here's the thing about him. We went back and looked. He didn't even have 1 3-ball count last weekend. That's how good he was. Didn't walk a batter, of course, not 1 3-ball count. And what we notice is when he gets ahead 0-2, 1-2, he finds a way to quickly finish. You'll see some pitchers that'll get to 0-2, then all of a sudden you turn around, it's 2-2, then it's 3-2, and you've thrown 10 pitches to one hitter. He finishes quickly, and that allows him to be able to work deep in ball games because he keeps his pitch count down.
That is so rare to not go to a 3-ball count the entire game. And he was very economical.
And remember, LSU had to use 5 relievers yesterday in game 1 of this tournament. So anytime you can get some length on Saturday, or really any day of the weekend rotation, it helps save that bullpen.
The Tiger offense has been powerful and consistent. Pitching, still a lot of question marks. 2 strikeouts in a row, 3 on the game now for Cooper Moore.
I'm telling you what, you can't finish any better than that. And I love pitchers that pound that fastball in with 2 strikes. Because what, hitters are taught to do what with 2 strikes? Hey, we got to protect against the off-speed pitch. Well, when you start protecting against all-speed pitches, Cooper Moore will find a way to bury that fastball right to the inside part of the plate. And he just locks up Coy for back-to-back strikeouts, and now his 3rd of the game.
Chase Banamede, the DH, goes after the first pitch.
Notre Dame, of course, in the ACC. I was just kind of looking at the projections, and D1 baseball has 10 teams predicted to make it to the NCAA tournament out of the ACC. Georgia Tech leads the way. They're the favorite in the ACC this year. If you hadn't been following, then Louisville, North Carolina, Florida State, NC State, Clemson, and then finally Wake Forest, Miami, Virginia, and Notre Dame at number 10.
Cooper Moore is covering, and Zach York flips it to him for the out. A quick 3-up, 3-down inning, a couple of strikeouts, and a ground ball to the right side. They remain scoreless.
ALS is a very expensive disease, and we've been fortunate to connect with different organizations, and especially the Live Like Blue Foundation. They've been wonderful.
This life is worth fighting for. Keep on pushing, even if you're not in my situation. You know, there's always an up to a down.
Fans, cast your vote for your favorite team's nominee to be named the Live Like Lou Fan Choice Community Impact Player of the Tournament. Text LouJax, LOUJAX, to 50155. That's 50155. Or visit fanchoicejax.com to donate and vote. LSU will be coming to the plate. And let's check in with the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Jack DeLongchamps. Good morning, sir.
Hey,
good
gentlemen.
afternoon.
Oh, good morning to you guys. Good afternoon, good morning, whatever it is. Five-Star Ballpark is bumping today. But, guys, I'd be remiss to mention the forgotten storyline. Jack Riddell, with 18 men sat down straight, 6 perfect innings. That was the big conversation last night until UCF stormed back. When I talked to head coach, skipper of Notre Dame, Sean Stifler, he goes, hey, I'm going to learn a lot about my team right now. I'll tell you what, it's a lot about how we're going to respond today. Are we going to be a lawn chair? Are we going to fold? Hey, those guys in those purple pinstripes, they're not going to feel bad for us, so we can't either. Excited to see this response out of the Fighting Irish. Back to you guys.
Jack, thank you. Cade Arambidi is the leadoff hitter. He'll be followed by Seth Dardar and Omar Cerna.
That's a great point, because Notre Dame, a lot like Indiana, Lynn, a very, very young team. Matter of fact, when you talk about Caden Crowell's on the mound, they are 3 true freshmen in this lineup for Notre Dame today. And the oldest player they have is, of course, a 5th-year senior, the center fielder Berkland, but everybody else freshmen and sophomore. So it's a young Notre Dame team.
Here's a quick quiz for you, Ben. Arambidi is one of how many 400 hitters in this lineup today?
I'm not going to look. I'm just going to guess, but I'm going to say 3.
6.
I almost got it right.
If you grade on the curve.
When I was in college, I needed the curve.
Brown, York, Arambidi, Dardar, Simpson, and Caraway, all hitting 400 or better.
Well, I tell you right now, the freshman Caden Crowell is carving up LSU a little bit right now. Back-to-back strikeouts for him. He got Zach York to finish the first inning, and the first batter in Arambidi just buries one right on the inside part of the plate.
Here's Seth Dardar. He's one of those 400 hitters. He's 6 for 15. 5 of those 6 hits have been extra base hits, 3 doubles and a couple of home runs. And he is 3rd on the team with 8 driven in.
Certainly the offense has been the strength for LSU so far early in the season, 6 games in. But the Tigers come in batting .374 as a team, 13 homers and averaging just shy of 13 runs per game.
Dardar smashes that. It's a fair ball. Seth is on his way to second base. Here's the throw. Dardar slides. It's overthrown. Dardar with a double with 1 out. And he continues to blister the baseball.
Seth Dardar, the Kansas State transfer, I tell you what, he has been outstanding. And Lynn, this is lefty on lefty right here, hanging in there and just finding the barrel, a rocket down the right field line for yet another extra base hit for the senior.
Dardar had a chance yesterday to collect an extra base hit and drilled one off the bag at first base. And it took a fortuitous hop for Indiana, and they were able to get the play at first for the out. That one just sizzled down over first base.
That's Dardar's,
and wound up in foul territory.
That's Dardar's 6th extra base hit of the year so far.
I would say that's a pretty fair slugging percentage. Here's Omar Cerna.
Now, when you want to talk about pure pop and exit velocity, you may turn to this true freshman right here, Omar Cerna, out of Texas, the #1 rated high school catcher coming out of the state of Texas last year. Jay Johnson was able to keep him out of the draft and get him on campus to Baton Rouge. And it's pretty much a 2-headed monster for LSU behind home plate. We talked about Cade Arambidi. He has been outstanding. Big improvements on both sides of the ball from his freshman year. And then you bring in this true freshman in Omar Cerna Jr., who can really turn it around.
He takes a wide stance. And the pitch is fouled off to the right side. Prior to Dardar's double, his slugging percentage was 1,000. That's way off the chart.
Seth Dardar has been so good for the Tigers this year. We're just talking about his hitting, but look at his own base percentage too. He is not afraid to walk. He's already got 8 walks on the season already as well to go along with those 6 extra base hits.
That on-base percentage is .625, and that leads the team. There's a lot of purple in the stands again today, which is certainly not unusual wherever LSU might be playing. That's a foul ball off of Cerna. Braden Simpson is on deck. Ben McDonald, Lynn Rollins with you. The middle game of this 3-game tournament in Jacksonville. Sponsored by D1 Baseball and Peak Events. This is the 3rd year this tournament has been held here. And D1 Baseball and Peak Events also sponsors tournaments in Round Rock, Texas, in Las Vegas, and in Frisco, Texas. Two of them are going on this weekend. 2 more will be taking place next weekend. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Pretty good breaking ball.
Caden Crowell's got a really good breaking ball. Fastball's been right there in the upper 80s, low 90s. But, boy, the difference maker for him so far has been this pitch right here. And he buries it down and into the right-handed hitter. So, because the velo's pretty good, he speeds that bat up and then gets that off-speed pitch. And we talked about a 3-pitch mix for him. But his first start of the year, Lynn, it was heavy on that fastball and about 30% sliders. He didn't use the changeup that much at all. So, really just a 2-pitch mix for the freshman.
Simpson takes a strike. Braden is hitting .400 in limited at bats. He's 2 for 5. One of those hits has been a double. He's driven in one. He waves and can't find it and falls behind. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Seth Dardar with a 1-out double remains at second base. Kroll has fanned 3 out of the last 4 hitters. There's a shot into the left field corner. That's down for a base hit. Dardar will score easily. Simpson on his way to second base, and he puts on the brakes right there with a ringing RBI double into the left field corner, and that ball shot through the infield in a hurry.
Well, those are separators for good offenses right there. How do you perform with runners in scoring position in big moments? And Braden Simpson comes to the plate and gets an elevated off-speed pitch, a line drive right down the left field line. Pushes across Seth Dardar, who had a double of his own, and the Tigers strike first.
A 1-out double by Dardar, a 2-out double by Simpson, and this brings to the plate another .400 hitter in Trent Carraway. He's 8 for 20, 1 double, 1 triple, 1 home run, and 10 runs driven in from the bottom of the order. That's second on the team.
Not many 9-hole hitters, 10 RBIs on the season already. But then again, we talked about this yesterday from LSU. It is a deep lineup, 1 through 9. A lineup that finds a way to pressure you up, pressures your defense up, pressures your pitchers up, 1 through 9. Not a whole lot of breathing room.
This may go for a pair or more. Simpson scores. Carraway digging for second base. He will stop right there, and the Tigers have triple doubles here in the second inning.
It has been double trouble for the Irish in this inning against LSU. 3 doubles, 1 by Dardar, 1 by Simpson, and now 1 by Trent Carraway.
So LSU trying to score before the ink on the scorecards and lineup even dries here, getting 2 in the second. LSU doubles by Dardar, Simpson, and Carraway. And we've got a conversation coming.
This is a big ask for a true freshman right here, going up against the number 2 team in the country, an offense averaging nearly 13 runs per game. I like this quick timeout, calm that freshman down a little bit. He's got good stuff, Lim. He was just 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning, but this veteran lineup from LSU has made him pay with a couple of mistakes.
So the conversation is over. Kroll gets a fresh baseball. And a 2-out uprising has given LSU a 2-0 lead. And there's been nothing cheap about the 3 doubles in this inning. Here's Curiel representing the top of the order. He walked and was left at second base in the first. Ball 1 to Derek Curiel. Ball 2. Kroll to the plate. That's downstairs. Ball 3. First base is open. Stephen Milam is on deck. He was robbed of a base hit by his counterpart at shortstop back in the first. 2 outs, 2 in. A runner at second base. The pitch to Curiel. That splits the plate on 3-0. Curiel is hitting .320, and he really hasn't gotten going offensively yet.
No, and he's hit a little bit of bad luck, too. He's barreled some balls up in 2026, unfortunately, right at some people. But he had such a tremendous freshman year. You know, it's very rare that a true freshman steps into a Power 4 conference. One, it makes the lineup, but two, what Curiel did and really set at the top of the lineup for LSU as a true freshman. He was the tone setter as LSU won their 8th national title last year in 2025.
The 3-2 pitch. A call, third strike. That one clipped the letters. A high strike takes care of Curiel, so an odd inning because Kroll struck out the side, but he also allowed 3 doubles, and the Tigers have a 2-0 lead.
Wow, you remembered the year. You deserve a Frosted Berry Whataburger from Whataburger. You stuck to your resolution a whole day. Discipline. You tied a shoe. Just one more to go. You traversed the driveway. You took down your holiday lights before summer. You deserve a new Frosted Berry Whataburger.
A wintry treat for every small feat. Whataburger.
Hey, if you want to stay up to date with the Live Like Lou Jack's College Baseball Classic all year round, I've got the solution for you. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's now X, as you know, at Jack's CBC on all of our social media platforms. I'm Lynn Rollins. Ben McDonald is next to me as the Tigers have taken a 2-0 lead on 3 ringing doubles off Caden Crow, and Cooper Moore has been staked to a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Cooper Moore, a little bit of breathing room here.
He has not walked any batter. He has struck out 3. Waters reached on an infield hit, but that's been the only base runner. Since then, Moore has retired 5 consecutive hitters.
Moore's kind of picked up right where he left off after his first start of the year just a week ago. That was against Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Dylan Passo, the number 8 hitter, and then Jamie Z, and then back to the top of the order for Drew Birkland. This ballpark has undergone renovation. It was first built about 20 years ago and has undergone a very extensive and well done renovation.
This is the AAA ballpark for the Miami Marlins. Opened this ballpark, ViStar Ballpark, opened up back in 2003.
There's the off-speed stuff again, and you just see it coming but can't do anything with it. LSU defensively has Braden Simpson in left field, Derek Curiel in center, Jake Brown is in right. Zach York is at first base. Seth Dardar is the second baseman. Stephen Milam is the shortstop. Trent Caraway holds down third base, and Omar Cerna is catching Cooper Moore today. 1-2 on Passo, the first baseman. Dylan Passo is hitting .231, 3 for 13. And he does have a home run with a couple of RBI. Here's the 2-2 pitch. He goes to 3-2, something he did not do at all in his first start.
First time of the year he's been in a 3-ball count. How about that?
Steve, right 3 called. And that butterfly ball continues to just completely baffle the first 2 opponents he's faced.
Well, the separator for Cooper Moore is this, and we talked about this earlier, the ability to throw just about any of his 5 pitches in just about any count. And as a hitter, And as a coach, it's hard to game plan against a pitcher like Cooper Moore because you just don't know what you're going to get at the end of the day. We talked about this. He threw more off-speed, more changeups than what he did fastballs in his first outing.
Z hits one to the left of Milam. He scoops it up and gets it over quickly to first base. Milam has been a Gold Glover in this series. He has made some tremendous plays at shortstop.
Well, you could make the case he was a Gold Glover last year, all of last year. And again, if you didn't follow LSU, Stephen Milam played second base his freshman year at LSU, made that transition to the shortstop position last year, and all he did and all the chances he had, started every game at the shortstop position, only made a total of 5 errors back in 2025.
That is an extremely low total. There's a breaking ball for a strike. Drew Birkland leading off, and he's being called over for an offensive chat.
Well, you could see head coach Sean Stifler, and what he didn't like about that is Birkland didn't like to call and kind of motion at home plate that he didn't like to call. So he quickly called him over and said, hey, we don't do that here. We don't do that. I want you to focus. That's just one strike. You got one strike on you, you got 2 more. Forget about that and let's focus on the next 2.
Birkland grounded out to Milam last time.
Sean Stifler, the head coach for Notre Dame in his 4th season, looking to make the NCAA tournament for the first time. Matter of fact, the last time Notre Dame was in the NCAA tournament, they made it to the College World Series. That was back in 2022. That's the year they went into a super regional in Tennessee, the #1 team in the country, and they knocked off the Volunteers in a super regional to make their way to Omaha.
Birkland with a violent swing, but nothing doing. 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on base. LSU leads 2-0.
That was the 3rd trip to Omaha in program history for Notre Dame. They went in 1957, 2002, and then 2022.
Moore is going to have to recover, and he does. York is waiting for the throw. And it's another 1-2-3 inning. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row retired by Cooper Moore as LSU leads 2-0.
Greetings from Jacksonville, the flip side of Florida. Here, you'll find flip-flops and cowboy boots, sushi and soul food, surfers and skaters, beachgoers and townies. Find art galleries and city murals, funky neighborhoods, and historic districts. Spend the day on the water, in the park, at the game, or on the green. On the flip side, anything is possible, except running out of things to do. Learn more at visitjacksonville.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Here is tomorrow's schedule. These are Eastern times. Indiana takes on Notre Dame at 11 o'clock, and LSU will follow and wrap it up with a 3 o'clock start Eastern time, 2 o'clock Baton Rouge time. LSU and UCF, and of course preceding that, Indiana and Notre Dame. This has been such a well-run tournament. All the little things have been taken care of. The Peak Events employees have been just tremendous. Their hospitality, their efficiency. And this has been a good destination, Ben, for LSU fans.
Yes, it has. Weather's been outstanding. Now, the weather's going to change tomorrow. The high tomorrow is going to be 68, so it's going to be about 20 degrees cooler than what it's been the first 2 days. Getting down to 37 tomorrow night here in Jacksonville.
How much?
37 tomorrow.
I don't believe it. 37?
That's what they're saying. With a 47% chance of rain. We'll hope you'll avoid the rain tomorrow.
Do you need to clean your glasses?
Got a little cool front, I should say, rolling in.
37.
That's what the weather
wow.
is saying.
Here's Stephen Milam. He was thrown out by Coy on a very nice play to the backhand side his last time. Ball 1 high to Milam.
Stephen Milam had himself his best offensive game of the season yesterday. He ends up going 3 for 5 with a couple of RBIs, and he's hit by a pitch by a breaking ball right there.
So the Tigers get their lead base runner on. They've had 3 innings in which they have put people aboard.
LSU walked 14 times yesterday to go along with 18 hits. So
that's almost a record, isn't it?
They had, yeah. And the program record for walks for LSU was 16 in a game. They got 14 yesterday.
That's astonishing. Indiana walking 14 batters. Jake Brown collects his first hit of the series as he rips one into right center field.
Jake Brown wasting no time at all. Flew out his first at bat to left field, and he was aggressive his first at bat. That's back-to-back at bats now. Jake Brown has attacked the first pitch. This time just a line drive out toward right center field. So,
and this is the first non-double, non-extra base hit. 3 previous hits had been doubles, those coming in the second inning.
Well, first
Brown is
second,
aboard.
No out situation.
Brown is aboard with a teammate ahead of him and nobody gone. Here's Zach York, who struck out back in the first. You know, that was only the 4th time he has fanned this year. He put a charge into one yesterday, which ignited the 9-run 8th inning. LSU was trailing by a run going into the 8th against Indiana yesterday.
We had 2 comeback victories yesterday. One by LSU.
York is able to belt it through the infield. The Tigers will stop after a 90-foot advance. Zach York gets aboard with the second single of the inning and the 5th base hit for the Tigers.
Yeah, the shift is on yet again, and there's the second baseman, Z, doing all he could do. He knocks that down, but at least it saves a run from scoring. But the bases are loaded now with nobody out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Tigers as Aaron Beatty steps to the plate.
Milam was hit by a pitch. Brown and York followed with base hits. There is bullpen activity. A right-hander throwing for Notre Dame.
Number 26, the right-hander for Notre Dame in the bullpen, Garrett Snyder, starting to get heated up. 6'5" freshman.
LSU with 5 early base hits. And Aaron Beatty with the bases loaded. He struck out in the 2nd. Ball 1 on an off-speed delivery. The outfield is very deep and playing Aaron Beatty to pull. The infield is pulled over to the left side, but not in the radical shift. Waters and Berkland and Lee in the outfield from left to right. Rustevich, Coy, Z, and Passo on the infield from 3rd to 1st. Watrani is catching. The pitch popped up. Let's see if they call the infield fly rule. I think they will. Yes, they do. So the first baseman, Passo, backing up and catching the pop-up on the right side. So Kroll fights off one hitter with the bases loaded. Now there's 1 out, and Seth Dardar comes to the plate. He crashed a double to the right side last time. Ball 1. Cerna is on deck with Milam, Brown, and York aboard. Dardar comes through again. Another laser shot into right. LSU will advance 90. And Seth Dardar is just ripping the cover off the baseball.
There are no cheapies right now. He is finding the barrel, it feels like, Lynn, just about every time. And again, what makes this impressive, it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup. And you, as a left-handed hitter, you got to really hang in there. And he has hung in there twice, just a rocket by the first baseman. Paso drives in the third run of the game for the Tigers.
So LSU with a productive second and a productive third, and a chance to get some more with Cerna at the plate. He struck out last time. The pitch, he waves and cannot get it. This inning started when Milam was plunked. Brown and York followed with base hits. Arambidi with the bases loaded popped up. But Seth Dardar has sent a stream of milk to right field for an RBI single. Two strikes on the youngster, Omar Cerna. Simpson is on deck. He had an RBI double in the previous inning. This will make right field down for a base hit. Cerna, who was down in the count, is able to punch one through, and the Tiger hit parade continues.
That was a nice piece of hitting right there, Lynn. The freshman Omar Cerna Jr. got down 0-2. Didn't try to do too much. He's just looking to put a ball in play. Watch how easy that stroke is. Sees the ball on the outside part of the plate, not trying to do a lot with it. He said, you know what, I'm just going to try to put a ball in play, and put a ball in play he did for an RBI single.
So the Tigers have 4 singles in the inning. The last 2 have produced runs. LSU scored 2 in the second. It's done the same in the third. And this may be the end of the day for Caden Kroll. That right-hander you spoke about earlier, Ben, is ready. LSU, no stranger to getting ahead in ball games this year, has done it again with 2 in the second and 2 in the third for a 4-0 lead. And it's York, it's Dardar, and it's Cerna from third to first on the base paths. We will have a pitching change right here, so we'll take a timeout. LSU out early, leading Notre Dame 4-0 with a chance to get some more in the third.
Wow, you remembered the year. You deserve a Frosted Berry Whataburger from Whataburger. You stuck to your resolution a whole day. Discipline. You tied a shoe. Just one more to go. You traversed the driveway. You took down your holiday lights before summer. You deserve a new Frosted Berry Whataburger.
A wintry treat for every small feat. Whataburger.
Greetings from Jacksonville, the flip side of Florida. Here, you'll find flip-flops and cowboy boots, sushi and soul food, surfers and skaters, beachgoers and townies. Find art galleries and city murals, funky neighborhoods, and historic districts. Spend the day on the water, in the park, at the game, or on the green. On the flip side, anything is possible, except running out of things to do. Learn more at visitjacksonville.com.
Welcome back, everyone. There's a youngster enjoying the LSU lead 4-0, and Garrett Snyder has come out of the bullpen, and he's got a tall task to put out the fire. The bases loaded with 1 out.
Yeah, Notre Dame will go from one freshman to another freshman. Garrett Snyder, 6'5", 232-pound freshman out of Farmington, Connecticut. He's got 1 appearance on the year. That was in relief. It was only a third of an inning, but he was good. Faced 1 batter and struck out that batter. According to Scout Report, fastball 89-91, a little sweeping slider and a changeup to go with it.
So we are just about set to return to play. Baseball this weekend here at VyStar Ballpark is the first action of the season on this field. Florida State will play here later in the year. A few high schools occasionally use the ballpark. Braden Simpson takes a strike from the new pitcher Garrett Snyder.
Braden Simpson, a RBI double in his first at bat. That was back in the second inning.
And he falls behind 2 strikes.
Back-to-back breaking balls by Garrett Snyder, the freshman. Boy, if you're Notre Dame right here, you'd love to try to figure out a way to minimize some damage here. Tigers already up 4-0.
That misses outside. It got there a couple of ticks over 90. Simpson loads up but pulls it foul. He hit it between the stitches. That would have done some damage had it fallen in fair ground. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. LSU 2 in the second, 2 more in the third, and we remain here in the third inning with the bases loaded. Now it's 2-2.
Braden Simpson, the transfer from High Point University, had a monster offensive season there last year. Well over 20 homers. Drove in nearly 80 runs last year at High Point.
The 2-2 pitch just misses. Simpson flinched and then recognized the pitch was going to be out of the strike zone. That's a very good take. And so he has battled back, and the count is full at 3-2. Caraway is on deck. He had an RBI double last time. The pitch is outside, ball 4, and that's one heck of an at-bat. After falling behind 2 strikes, Simpson is able to wedge a walk, and LSU adds to its lead.
That's what's known as a professional at-bat right there. Got down 2 strikes, fouled off a couple tough pitches, and eventually worked a walk and collected an RBI as well. Tigers up 5-0 now.
Milam, Brown, and York have scored. Dardar, Cerna, and Simpson are aboard. And here's Trent Caraway, who sliced a double last time. Caraway, 1 for 1 with an RBI. And LSU out early, 5-0 against Notre Dame. These teams have played 10 times in their baseball histories. Each team has won 5. Another right-hander starts to warm up for Notre Dame. The pitch, good cut, but a foul back. Trent Caraway's average has climbed to .429 following his earlier base hit. That's a foul ball. Look at the fun at the ballpark.
Is he going to eat all of that? That was a big hot dog or whatever that was.
I always think you could eat all chocolate
that.
Something. LSU has cranked 7 hits. The first 3 were doubles. The last 4 have been singles. And Caraway has to walk back to the dugout.
That looked like a perfect pitcher's pitch by Garrett Snyder right there. Just gets a fastball just down and in. Looked like Caraway thought it was a little bit too far in, but the home plate umpire, Danny Cricks, didn't think so. In the second out of the inning for Notre Dame.
So Caraway unable to do anything with that pitch. This brings on Curiel. He's the 9th batter to come to the plate. As Snyder gets his first strikeout after walking in a run. Caden Kroll went 2 1/3, allowed 7 hits. 5 runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. The play is made at first base, and Notre Dame finally gets back to its dugout. But LSU adds to its lead. 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 5-0 Tigers. The Live Like Lou Jack's College Baseball Classic is presented by Peak Events, home of the best outside of Omaha. Follow at peak.events on social media to keep up with the best in early season college baseball. Peak Events and D1 Baseball presenting the Live Like Lou Jack's College Baseball Classic for the 3rd consecutive year here in lovely Jacksonville, Florida. And we took a little tour coming to the ballpark, drove along the banks of the St. Johns River.
We've learned a lot.
We have.
I didn't know Jacksonville was the largest city, population-wise, in the state of Florida. We learned that.
By a lot.
Yep, then we got the St. Johns River running through. A lot going on. We got the Live Like Lou baseball tournament going on here in Jacksonville. You got the PBR, Professional Bull Riders Association in here. Got an event going on as well.
There was a symphony not far from here last night. Jacksonville with a population of over a million, almost twice as big as Miami, the 2nd largest city. And a lot of commerce here, connected with the river, the ocean.
A lot of good seafood. Got some shrimp around here. Last night we did.
Got some lanyap shrimp. Bino Waters at the plate, batting .333. He's had a base hit today.
Cooper Moore has been on point just like he was his first outing for the Tigers a week ago. 3 innings so far. Only 1 hit, has not walked a batter, 4 strikeouts for the junior. Cooper Moore out of Bixby, Oklahoma. Transferred in after 2 seasons at Kansas.
Cooper Moore has been filling up the strike zone once again. He has retired 8 consecutive batters. Nobody has reached after the 1-out infield hit by Waters.
He just gets it and gets on the bump and attacks the strike zone. And he attacks it with 5 different pitches.
Curiel drifting back, using the sunshades, and makes the catch for the out. Well, Ben, it will be our pleasure to speak with Wendy Falk, the executive director of the Live Like Lou Foundation, next inning. And this has been a tremendous organization, and you just feel inspired being around it. Mark Quattrani at the plate. He's been one of the best hitters in the early going for Notre Dame, hitting .429. Big fellow takes a strike. It's fun to watch Cooper Moore pitch because he is a true pitcher.
Well, and pitch is the key word there. I mean, we're in a time now where we got a lot of throwers, both at the big league level, and we got a lot of throwers at the college level. But it's fun to watch the pitchers. And what I mean by pitchers, I mean guys that attack the strike zone, will really mix their pitches. They'll throw off-speed pitches in fastball counts. And against a young team like Notre Dame, and we touched on this too, a lot of youngsters here, a lot of freshmen and sophomores in this lineup. And these are the kind of lineups that veteran pitchers that really know how to pitch, they can carve them up.
That's the second hit of the game. Quattrani getting the barrel of the bat on it, shoots it right back from whence it came. It comes with 1 out.
Waters had the first hit. That was back in the first inning off of Cooper Moore, and that's the second hit of the day against Cooper Moore.
This brings on the third baseman, Parker Brustevich. Curiel tracked down his fly ball back in the first. Jace Lee is on deck. A semi-shift is on. LSU grabbed at 2 in the second inning on 3 doubles in the frame, Dardar, Simpson, and Caraway, and then came back with 3 more in the third on 4 singles. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. LSU and UCF tomorrow at 3 o'clock. That's local time, 2 o'clock Central Time, Baton Rouge time. Caraway gets the out at second base. The relay is late, but the Tigers take care of the leading lady as Brustevich hits into a fielder's choice. 5-4 on that call.
Yeah, ball wasn't really hit hard enough to turn 2 right there. If you trick Caraway at third base, but they always tell you when you probably figure you can't turn 2, be sure of the first one. He took his time and got that lead out over at second base. The internal clock for infielders are always so important. You got to know instantly when the ball's hit. Is this a real opportunity to turn 2, or am I just focusing on getting that lead out? And Caraway knew it right away.
The base hit by Quattrani a couple of batters ago ended Cooper Moore's streak of retiring 9 straight batters. He has been dominant again. And Ben, there's a perfect example. That fastball 92 miles an hour, not one of the hardest throwers, but the control is so pinpoint that he immediately puts the hitter at a disadvantage.
Yeah, and I love to watch the home plate view. I like this. This is my favorite view because when you watch a pitcher pitch, watch where the glove is from the catcher and see how close he can come to hit.
Milam charges it. He'll have time. He slings it over, and the inning is over. A base hit by Quattrani, but he's left at first base. When we come back, Wendy Fault, the executive director of the Live Like Lou Foundation. Our pleasure to bring in Wendy Faust, the executive director of the Live Like Lou Foundation, which certainly benefits from this wonderful baseball tournament and has for the last 3 years now. Wendy, Lou Gehrig, quite honestly, when I was growing up as a child, he had passed several years, obviously, earlier, but was one of the most inspirational people that I've met and or I've heard of, and his story still resonates today. And the Live Like Lou Foundation, quite honestly, I was unaware that this foundation existed, but after learning more about it, my goodness, the work you guys do is just really, really important.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to do this work and to really to bring Lou Gehrig's legacy into today's world, right? 103 years ago, Lou was on the bench at Columbia University fighting for his place in the lineup, just like these players are here this weekend. And his legacy right after that year in 1923, the Yankees swooped him up, and the story continues.
You sound like a baseball fan.
I am a baseball fan, married a baseball player, so definitely enjoy the sport. I'm just a huge sports fan, but honestly, the best of baseball is what the Live Like Lou Foundation gets to engage with, and it's an honor to be a part of it.
Milam bounces one to the right side. He's retired. You know, here's a little bit of an interesting twist, because Lou Gehrig played in 2,130 consecutive games. The gentleman sitting to your right, Ben McDonald, was teammates with Cal Ripken, who broke Lou Gehrig's record.
Absolutely. Well, and one of my colleagues, his son is named Cal after Cal Ripken, so I love that. You know, that legacy, that record stood for so long. In fact, we award scholarships to financial dependents and ALS families in the amount of $2,130 a semester for 4 years in honor of Lou's jersey number, and I love seeing number 4 that was just up to bat.
Let's look to a hopeful future. What's being done to not only educate people about ALS, but also to find a cure, find out how we can prevent this?
Absolutely. The dream is that this disease becomes treatable. That is what would be fantastic. Completely cured would be even better. The Live Like Lou Foundation funds early career scientists studying ALS. ALS is a disease that is not well funded, so often in those first 10 years is when we see a lot of researchers move on to better funded diseases at times. And so that's where the Live Like Lou focuses our investments and looking onward to a future without ALS.
What's the response to this tournament?
The response has been outstanding. I think being able to tell the Live Like Lou story, we're hosting about 100 family members of people living with ALS and people who've passed from ALS throughout the weekend. And it's an honor to get to showcase that. This disease, while it is considered rare, that is because there are no survivors in ALS. This is a fatal disease. If Lou were to be diagnosed today, his outcome may not have changed. And that's why and how the Live Like Lou Foundation was established.
Well, Jake Brown singles for LSU. That's his second base hit of the day. You know, I think it's great. At the end of the tournament, there will be a representative from one of these 4 teams to present a very meaningful award to an ALS family. And I think Chris Stanfield is leading the vote right now. I'm not quite sure about that, but I think he is.
You are correct.
If he is the presenter, that's a quality young man.
I have had the opportunity to have 3 different conversations with Chris throughout the weekend, and every single one is just better than the last. He's an incredibly impressive athlete and human.
The smile comes easily, doesn't it?
Indeed. We had another LSU player, Tommy Tanks, a couple years ago, was on the Live Like Lou Foundation's inaugural community impact team as well. And seeing Tommy play in the minors now is really exciting to follow his career, but Live Like Lou truly aspires to recognize the best in baseball, and Chris is certainly showcasing that.
So let's tell folks how they can support ALS Foundation and all of the research that's going on, the Live Like Lou Foundation. How can people get involved?
So livelikelou.org is our website.
Livelikelou.org.
Correct. And we are always looking for volunteers to help serve our incredible families. So we have a number of ways people can get involved. Donations for the tournament can be made at livelikelou.org/forthegood. Lou removed himself from the lineup for the good of his team, in his own words. And so that is capitalizing our campaign this weekend. The players are wearing For the Good shirts throughout the weekend. And then fanchoicejacks.com is where you can vote for LSU's Chris Stanfield or any of the other 3 players that have been nominated by their teams for their great work in the community.
Is progress being made?
It's a great question. I think we're learning a lot more about ALS than we've known in the past. This is a disease that is often underdiagnosed or misdiagnosed. So the faster we can get someone to diagnosis, the more opportunities exist for trials, clinical trials, and opportunities for that individual. We're learning more about the familial or inherited genes that are causing ALS. Our staff team was just out at the Mayo Clinic here in Jacksonville on Wednesday before the tournament kicked off and heard from Dr. Oscarson, Wilfred Rossell, some of their incredible researchers that we have funded research at Mayo before. And, the hope is in the science, the hope is in the scientists, and that's where we're making those investments.
Does ALS have a pattern in terms of who might be a victim?
There are some environmental issues that we know. We know military veterans are twice as likely to be diagnosed with ALS than those that haven't served in the military. We don't yet know why. But one of our board members, he's at the University of Florida. He is studying that. That's his particular focus. He works with veterans from throughout the country or throughout the world, in fact, here in Gainesville. And So we know military service is one. We know that extreme athletics, high-level sport performance, we're seeing some indications. There are other environmental factors at times. People who smoke sometimes are more likely, but there's nothing that we can put a pin on, unfortunately.
York lifts one to right field, and a galloping grab is made by Jace Lee for the second out. We are speaking with Wendy Faust, the executive director of the Live Like Lou Foundation. I want to compliment you because you got the attention of the LSU fans, the LSU team back on Thursday when LSU came to work out, and you spoke to the team, and it was very passionate, and you reached the heart of several players. I know you got some volunteers from that meeting.
I love that. It's wonderful. I truly think the best humans are baseball players, and perhaps I'm a little bit biased in the world that I get to be in, but the work that Live Like Lou does with Major League Baseball, starting a partnership with Minor League Baseball this year as well, and now into college baseball, into year 4 of working in college baseball, it's incredible.
Congratulations on what you've done, and we, from the bottom of our hearts, wish success in your endeavor because it's so important to eliminate this disease.
Couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for the opportunity to tell our story.
Wendy Faust, the executive director of the Live Like Lou Foundation. If you get a chance, go to the foundation website, look at it, support it, and try to influence some other people to do the same. Been some good information there. As we play on with a 5-0 lead, Tigers have a runner at first base. He's on the move. This ball is driven deep to center field. Berkland backing up. You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. Arambidi blast one over the 400-foot sign in dead center field, and the Tigers add to their lead on a mammoth blow off the bat of Cade Arambidi.
That's what you call, Lynn, stretching one out right there. And I mean stretch it out to the biggest part of the ballpark, straightaway center field for the sophomore Cade Arambidi. His second long ball of the year, making 7 RBIs, and boy, he got an elevated pitch right in the heart of the zone and knew exactly what to do with it. Center fielder Berkland going back, and just out of room as that ball hits off the batter's eye. Tigers up now 7-0 here in the 4th inning.
And the power onslaught continues for LSU. This Tiger offense has been hotter than salsa on sunburn in the early part of the season.
They have been on the roll, and they've been on the roll really since the opening day, too. And it took them a little while opening day against Milwaukee, Wisconsin to kind of get going. But once they found their stride, this offense has not looked back so far.
18 hits for LSU yesterday, 9 so far today, with 2 runs in the second, 3 runs in the third, and 2 runs in the fourth.
We talk about this lineup. 1 through 9, and I mean all 9, we're in the 4th inning, and all 9 batters have reached base for LSU tonight.
That's amazing. Curiel has walked. Milam was hit by a pitch, 2 singles for Brown. York is 1 for 3. So is Cade Arambidi with that long home run. A double and a single for Dardar. Cerna is 1 for 2 with an RBI. Simpson has walked and driven in 2. He also has a double. Trent Caraway with an RBI double. That's a whole lot of traffic on the bases, isn't it?
A lot of traffic yesterday, a lot of traffic again today. If you know anything about Jay Johnson, that's what he teaches from an offensive standpoint. Patiently aggressive. The idea is to find your way on base. He doesn't care how you do it. If you walk, get hit by a pitch, or a base hit, it doesn't matter, but find your way on base.
Dardar twice has found his way on base. The shift is on. And he's tagged out as he swings and misses for the 3rd out. But Cade Arambidi adds to the LSU lead with a mammoth home run over the center field wall. 7-0 Tigers.
Logistically, even within our home and financially, ALS is a very expensive disease, and we've been fortunate to connect with different organizations, and especially the Live Like Lou Foundation. They've been wonderful with this, not only the financial support, but really the emotional and spiritual support as well.
Even though I may look different and sound different, I'm still the same person. And that inspires that, you know, I'm still here and I'm still fighting, and this life is worth fighting for. Keep on pushing. Even if you're not in my situation, you know, there's always an up to a down.
Well, it's time for our trivia quiz. And it goes like this. Which former Notre Dame head coach, who later became an LSU assistant coach, also coached at LSU? Maneri, Bertman, Johnson, or Klein? We will have the answer for you after a while. Ben McDonald, Len Rollins with you as LSU has exploded early against Notre Dame pitching. And Ben, they've done it in a variety of ways, and as you mentioned, it's been up and down the lineup with the contribution.
Yeah, it's been 1 through 9, and you look down to the bottom of that lineup you just mentioned. I mean, Omar Cerna Jr., 7-hole hitter, he's got an RBI single. Braden Simpson's been on twice. He's got a couple of RBIs in the 8-hole, and Caraway in the 9-hole, a double and an RBI as well.
Noah Coy leads it off for the Fighting Irish, who have only managed 2 hits as we play in the top of the 5th. And the delivery over the top. A bit of a bender there. Cooper Moore has not walked a batter. He has struck out 4. At one point he had retired 9 in a row. Coy struck out last time. That hugs the line before going foul. Do you like these shiny gold batting helmets?
I do. It's the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
One-two pitch lined into the corner in right field. This may go for extra bases. Coy rounds first, but thinks better about it as Brown gets the ball quickly back to the infield. So Coy collects only the 3rd hit allowed by Cooper Moore, but a leadoff single here in the 5th.
First time today Notre Dame's leadoff batter of an inning has been able to reach against Cooper Moore. It is a hard single by the shortstop, Noah Coy.
Ben, how long do you think LSU would like to stretch out Cooper Moore here in his 2nd start?
I would think 85 pitches. Seemed like he threw, and maybe even 90 depending on how it goes. I think he threw like 72 pitches his first time out for the Tigers. So yeah, I mean the word we got from Jay Johnson and Nate Yeske, the pitching coach for LSU, was all of the starters were built up to right around 85 pitches when the season began. And the weather is ideal for pitchers, so I could see a scenario where Cooper Moore gets 85 to 90 pitches today.
Here's Chase Vandermeed, who was retired on a 3-1 put out back in the 2nd.
Because remember, LSU had to use 5 relievers yesterday, and 2 of the relievers they used in Cooper Williams and Gavin Guidry were some high leverage relievers, I'm sure, that are down for today. So the more length Cooper Moore could get, the better LSU would situate their pitching staff for tomorrow's game against UCF.
He's been well supported offensively with 7 runs on 9 hits. Moore has thrown 4 shutout innings.
Thank you.
A liner to left, and it is hooking foul. That's 2 pretty well struck balls here. One by Coy and that one by Vandermeed.
Yeah, Notre Dame's starting to make some adjustments here the 2nd time through the lineup. Still nothing on the scoreboard yet as far as runs go, but definitely the swings and the contact a little bit better for the Irish here in the 5th inning.
The outfield is deep and straight away. Vandermeed was leaning into that one.
That's what Cooper Moore loves to do. He loves to finish on the inside part of the plate for these right-handers. His favorite fastball is that two-seam fastball.
And Vandermeed has moved off the plate by a few inches after that last pitch. It's 3-2.
And this is the count right here off Cooper Moore. You just don't know what you're going to get. You could see one of his 5 pitches right here.
Runner is moving, and there is ball 4. So a bit of a shaky start here in the 5th after 4 brilliant innings, as Cooper Moore has walked a batter and also allowed a base hit to Coy.
First walk of the season for Cooper Moore. Again, his first time out, no walks, 11 strikeouts. That's the first walk of the season.
And it looks like Marcos Paz will be able to start warming up here. They've got a couple of people stretching, nobody throwing yet.
Cooper Moore's only, let's see, 55 pitches is what I'm showing. A high percentage of strikes. 42 of his 55 offerings have found the strike zone.
It's just phenomenal in his 2 starts how many strikes to balls he has thrown.
He threw 80% strikes in his first outing of the season, which typically, and that don't mean like a lot to a lot of people, but to give you an idea, if you're really, really good, the idea is to get about 65% strikes for a starting pitcher. Anytime you're at 65 or above, you're a lot better than most.
Curiel comes on to make the play. That ball looked like it might drop when it left the bat, but Curiel was able to quickly hustle toward the infield to make the play for the first out. So Paso is retired, and this brings on Jamie Z.
Yeah, it just feels like Notre Dame, they got to make a little noise in this inning right here if they're going to get back in this ball game. The inning began first and second and nobody out. When you get these kind of opportunities against a pitcher like Cooper Moore, you want to make it pay off at your Notre Dame.
Z came into the game 2 for 10. He's now 2 for 11. And there's a fastball strike. And another one. He doesn't often throw 2 fastballs in a row.
How about 3 in a row, huh? Boy, just missed with that one.
LSU's infield is at double play depth with 1 out and 2 aboard. A called 3rd strike. Cooper Moore records his 5th strikeout, his first since the 3rd inning, and that came at a very good time.
Boy, you talk about just painting one too. And that's a 2-seam fastball in, but Cooper Moore has the ability to throw what I call a backdoor 2-seam fastball. In other words, he starts it off the outside edge to the right-handed hitters and just works that thing just back over the inside part or the outside part of the plate.
So 5 strikeouts against the single walk. And we go back to the top of the order for Drew Birkland. He is grounded out to Milam, and he is grounded back to Moore. The 1-strike pitch fouled away. And Ben, he's gone to his fastball a lot more in this inning than previous innings.
It was a lot of off-speed pitches the first 4 innings, and now starting to lean on the fastball. And I'm just watching velocity. He is holding that velocity. That ball at 93 miles an hour. So Cooper Moore able to sustain the velocity.
He's been very consistent at 92 and 93 when he throws fastballs. Now that was an off-speed pitch. Moore works ahead, 2 strikes. LSU did not score in the first, but quickly caught up with 2 in the second and 3 in the third and 2 in the fourth. 7-0 Tigers. Milam can't get to it on the backhand side. Here's a throw from left field. It is in time, but the ball came out. Cerna had it, was trying to make a swing tag, and the ball was dislodged. So Notre Dame gets on the scoreboard with that single by Birkland, just out of the reach of Stephen Milam.
Boy, watch the throw by the left fielder Simpson. You talk about a dart all the way home. Cerna goes up the line, and he actually applies the tag. You're right. Would have been out if he'd have hung on to it. Watch this swipe tag. Gets him right on the helmet, but the ball popped out of the glove. So safe at home plate. Runners on first and third now. 1 run in for Notre Dame.
Nate Yeski will stroll out to the mound to talk to Cooper Moore. Nobody is ready in the bullpen, so this is just for calming effect and probably a reinforcement about how they want to pitch to Bino Waters. He's a .318 hitter. Ben, they're playing catch with a football down in the bullpen on the LSU side. They're warming up with a football.
We're seeing that more and more common. We're seeing it at the big league level. We're seeing it at the collegiate level as well. Guys are starting to warm up.
Well, I've seen it before games with pitchers throwing it in the outfield. I've never seen pitchers warm up with the football in game situations. They even have their own receiver so they don't hurt their hands on the lob toss.
Yeah, receiver, yeah. You got to have a receiver to catch the football for you. And I'm going to have to call you a non-athlete.
I'm with you. Especially a lob toss. I mean, we're not talking about an 85-mile-an-hour slider with that football. Waters, his first pitch swinging. He lifts it to right center field. Curiel calls off Brown and makes the catch. And the side is retired. But Notre Dame breaks into the scoring column with 1 in the 5th. Well, it's time to review our trivia quiz today. Which former Notre Dame head coach, who later became an LSU assistant coach, also coached at LSU? I'm not quite sure I understand that question, but I think it's Paul Maneri.
Yeah, but he didn't become an assistant coach. He became a head coach.
I know, but that's why I think the question was skewed, but it's Paul Maneri.
Paul Maneri actually took Notre Dame.
He didn't become an LSU assistant coach.
No, he didn't. He went straight from Notre Dame to the head coach of LSU.
And now at South Carolina.
That's right.
And I think the Gamecocks come to Baton Rouge this year.
That is correct. Seems like LSU went to South Carolina last year.
Kellen Klosterman is the new pitcher, a sophomore right-hander. So Notre Dame goes to the bullpen. Omar Cerna has struck out and singled in a run. with a very controlled swing in his last at bat. He's 1 for 2. So it's Kellen Klosterman working to Omar Cerna. One ball, one strike. LSU gave up one in the top of the inning, but still has a 6-run advantage. And that one slides in for a strike.
Osterman's supposed to have a pretty big arm, Lynn. Fastball's going to take up to 95 for the sophomore right-hander.
Cerna turns that one around. A line drive deep to left field. Caught at the wall by Bino Waters. Cerna hit it very solidly, but Bino Waters went back to the wall. He judged it beautifully and made the catch a half step away from the fence.
This ball got in on the hands just enough of Cerna, but it still pushes the left fielder Waters all the way back to the wall. Going back to Klosterman, 92 to 95 on the fastball, slider, and changeup as well. He's making his second appearance of the year. He was perfect in his 1 inning of work. Struck out one.
Jay Johnson calls an offensive timeout. He probably uses this more than anybody else in the SEC. And sometimes it comes with 2 outs if they've been recorded quickly.
If he sees something that he wants to relate to his next couple of batters, he'll call a timeout. Or sometimes I feel like a lot of college coaches do, maybe it's to upset the timing a little bit, a little gamesmanship, if you will, of the pitcher. But more time than not, it's information that maybe a hitter would need. Maybe what he's seeing, maybe a sequence. Maybe the pitcher's tipping off a pitch occasionally.
And usually it's the present hitter and the on-deck hitter and maybe even somebody beyond that. So it's hardly ever a one-batter conversation. That pitch sails in for the strike. 1-1, 1 out. On a well-hit ball by Cerna to the left field wall, which was tracked down by Waters. Simpson lost his socks on that swing.
Braden Simpson's not going to get cheated. We talked about the big numbers he put up at High Point last year. When he goes in it, he's not feeling for it. He is looking to do damage.
He loads up, but he can't find it. And so for the first time he's retired, he had doubled in a run and walked with the bases loaded. Klosterman has induced a line out to the wall and a strikeout. And this brings on Caraway. He has doubled in a run, and he struck out last time. 1 for 2 today for Trent Caraway. He's hitting above 400. In fact, 409 as he stands in right now. One of 6 400 hitters for the Tigers.
Normally when you're hitting over 400, you'd be more in the middle part of a lineup. But because of the depth that this LSU offense has, Caraway hitting well over 400, but hitting in a 9-hole.
Well, it's nice when you can get on base in the 9-hole and bring Curiel to the plate with a base runner.
Yeah, and he's not just getting on base. Look, he's driven in 11 runs out of that 9-hole.
Yeah, that's second on the team.
You know, so look, he is producing. And again, a transfer from Oregon State that really came on strong offensively late in the year for Oregon State last year. Matter of fact, 5 home runs in their regional tournament in Corvallis. He was the Corvallis MVP of that tournament. And he would tack on 1 home run as well in super regional play last year. So half of his home runs all came in postseason play for Caraway last year.
Well, that's popping them when you need them, right?
Well, and I think Jay Johnson recognized that as soon as Caraway kind of hit the portal. And Jay Johnson had obviously being from the West Coast, he had a history with Trent Caraway too. Recruited him out of high school, talked to him, tried to get him to Arizona when Jay was at Arizona. Of course, he circled back quickly to Caraway when Caraway hit the transfer portal last year.
There's Jay Johnson, the head coach. He is obsessed with preparation.
He is, and look, there are a lot of prepared coaches that we get to go around and see around college baseball. I think of Dave Van Horn, really, really good over at Arkansas, does an outstanding job. Kevin O'Sullivan at Florida, Tim Corbin at Vanderbilt. Just think about some guys within the SEC. When you talk about preparing a team, it's hard to say Jay Johnson. When you put the full package together, and when I mean the full package, preparing your team, being able to get into the portal, being able to recruit an incoming freshman class, it's hard to argue that Jay Johnson hadn't been the best in the business. And I think the proof's in the pudding with 2 national titles in 4 years at LSU and what he's been able to do. You know, it's hard to argue with the success, and he is not the best coach in the country right now.
Caraway takes a strike on the inside part of the plate. He had the green light. And had loaded up on that swing. Cerna lined out. Simpson struck out. Caraway at the plate. Pops it up. Quattroni is able to get to it and make the catch on the left side. So a 3-up, 3-down inning. It's the first time LSU has not had a base runner. But the lead remains 7-1 as we go to the 6th in Jacksonville, Florida.
Wow, you remembered the year. You deserve the sweet reward of the new Frosted Berry Water Fresher from Whataburger. Brilliant.
A wintry treat for every small feat. What a burger.
Fans, the Live Like Lou Foundation is dedicated to supporting families affected by ALS and funding research to find treatments and ultimately a cure. Inspired by New York Yankees first baseman and Major League Hall of Famer Lou Gehrig, the foundation supports those living with ALS and funds research to find treatments and a cure. To learn more, visit livelikeLou.org. That's livelikeLou.org.
It was May the 2nd, 1939. Lou Gehrig was in his 17th big league season with the Yankees, and he wasn't feeling well. He took himself out of the lineup after playing in 2,130 consecutive games, which of course was a major league record at the time. And then a couple of months later, on July the 4th, he made that famous speech that we all see the highlights and the videos of.
And you mentioned that 1939 date, Ben. There are a lot of T-shirts and hoodies and sweatshirts that have a 1939 emblem on them. If you see one, it's referring to the year that Lou Gehrig took himself out of the lineup, and then a couple of months later gave that famous luckiest man in the world speech in Yankee Stadium.
Now, for all you youngsters out there wondering who Lou Gehrig was, we'll just throw some numbers out there at you. Career batting average in 17 big league seasons, 340. 493 career home runs, and drove in right at 2,000 runs in his career. And no telling where that record would have stood if he didn't get sick.
2 times an MVP. This is going to be a difficult play from the left side, and Caraway is unable to make it. So a swinging bunt off the bat of the catcher, Mark Quattroni, and it winds up providing him with a base hit. There was nothing that Caraway could do with that.
No, you could almost stood in the home plate. You couldn't have rolled it down the line any better than this. The Caraway's playing back where he should be playing. Just a difficult play for him to make.
So that's 4 base runners over the last inning plus off of Cooper Moore.
I like the way Cooper Moore pitched the last inning. Started off a little bit of trouble, a base hit and a walk, so he had first and second, nobody out, but he found a way, being a veteran pitcher, just to minimize damage. That's the idea for a starting pitcher. Bend a little bit, but don't break. And what I mean is, one run in an inning is not going to beat you. One run. You want to stay away from those big numbers, those crooked numbers where you give up 3 or 4 in an inning. And being able to minimize damage, that's a lot easier said than done, especially for young pitchers. But Cooper Moore's been around for a while. Weekend rotation piece for Kansas last year. Matter of fact, he threw right at 90 innings for the Jayhawks last year.
Ethan Plog, a left-hander, is warming up with the Tigers. And Ben, I hope we can get a shot of the LSU bullpen, because there's a pitcher down there holding something in his hand that I've never seen before. And right now he's not. Now he's going to a stretch and faking a throw with something that looks like a beach ball with a hole in it so you can grab it. I've never seen that before.
It's
what
weighted,
is that?
It's weighted a little bit, and it's a training tool that a lot of pitchers are using really at the high school level, the collegiate level, and the big league level too. Kind of gets the obliques firing, gets the midsection firing a little bit without having to throw a ball. And that's kind of the idea of it.
Strike 3 called as Bruce Stebbage walks back to the dugout with an 0 for 3 afternoon. And Cooper Moore drifted that one over and gets the strikeout, his 6th of the game. Now here's Jace Lee, who has fanned and bounced out to short. Cerna is unable to control that at the plate. Not sure what happened there, but Cerna could not make the catch cleanly.
Yeah, I don't know if Cerna got crossed up. From where I was sitting, I couldn't tell if the ball bounced or not. I don't think it bounced. Let's take a look at it and see if this ball got in the dirt. No, he just tried to frame it. And that's where catchers, they work. They show the target, and as the pitch comes to home plate, they drop the glove pretty much on the ground, and they work from the ground up. Why do they do that? Because they feel like they can maybe steal a few more pitches, frame the ball, maybe steal a strike every now and then. But every now and then you try to catch it in the webbing of the glove if it's a little bit low to kind of look like it's a strike. And that ball hit right off the webbing and kicked away.
So we'll call that a passed ball. And it puts a Notre Dame player in scoring position. Lee gets the benefit of the doubt on a close pitch. It's 2-0. Noah Coy is on deck. He's had a base hit and struck out.
Notre Dame 1 for 4 today with runners in scoring position. LSU having a big day so far, 5 for 12 with runners in scoring position.
Simpson backing up, and that ball is gone. A 2-run home run for Jace Lee. It kept carrying. I thought it might be trackable on the warning track. But Quatrani scores ahead of the home run by Jace Lee. And the Fighting Irish have put up some fight here in the 5th and 6th innings.
Jace Lee having a good start to 2026. Little off-speed pitch. He got his body a little bit out in front, but boy, he kept the hands back and finds the barrel and pushes all the way out toward left center field. You see Simpson going, and out of room right there. That's Jace Lee's 2nd long ball of the year, his 4th RBI. And the Fighting Irish making a little noise the last 2 innings. 1 in the 5th, and now a 2-run shot to bring it to 7-3.
And the hit total has reached 6 now for the Irish.
Here's another look at that swing. Just an elevated off-speed pitch, and boy, he put a barrel on that ball. You're right, it kept traveling and traveling.
Noah Coy tried to duplicate it with a big swing, but didn't come close. He falls behind 2 strikes.
That's only Notre Dame's, 4th home run of the season.
This is going to be trouble potentially, and it drops. Simpson could not get to it. Here's the throw to second base. It's on target. Out at second base. What a throw from Braden Simpson as he cut loose with a difficult angle from down near the foul line in medium depth left field. and drills it right into the mitt of Dardar for the tag.
That is 2 big throws from Braden Simpson. He almost threw a runner out at home plate just an inning ago. Watch him get to this ball. He swung over toward left center field. This ball slicing away from him, but he grabs it. Watch this. Points those shoulders and just throw a dart right into Seth Dardar, who quickly applies the tag. Well done all the way around. That's a nice tag, too, by Dardar.
And a perfect throw it had to be. Meanwhile, we've got a bit of a delay here as some more tamping of this new grass takes place. But a perfect strike, a bullseye throw from Simpson to Dardar takes care of Noah Coy trying to get a double out of it. And Ben, you can maybe question the decision to go trailing by 4 runs, but it took a perfect throw to nail it.
Well, and I think that's what the gamble was by Noah Coy, the shortstop, right? He was going to force Braden Simpson to make a perfect throw, and he did.
They have looked at it and sustained the call. Youngsters having fun at the ballpark. Put a price on that. Three runs, 7 hits, no errors for Notre Dame. 7 runs, 9 hits, and no errors for LSU. A chop to Dardar's left. He leaves his feet, gets up, and then throws it away. That ball was backed up by Cerna, but the throw eluded him as well. And that's going to wind up with a runner at second base after all is said and done.
Probably going to be an infield single and an E4 as the runner took an extra 90 feet.
I would think so.
Well, watch Seth Dardar too, man. Moving hard to the glove side. This is a great play. I mean, knocks it down. Maybe he has time, but lets it go. It's just a little bit wide. And Jay Johnson out of that LSU dugout. Looks like he's probably going to make a pitching change.
And if so, it's likely to be Ethan Plog, the sophomore left-hander, and it will be Plog. So we'll take a timeout as the umpires check Plog's glove and hands for an illegal substance. He passes the test. He's the new pitcher. LSU up on Notre Dame.
From the front row to the upper level, from epic concerts to heart-stopping games, Tickets for Less puts you where the action is. Experience the thrill of live events like never before. Every seat holds a story. Find yours at ticketsforless.com and never pay service fees.
Greetings from Jacksonville, the flip side of Florida. Here, you'll find flip-flops and cowboy boots, sushi and soul food, surfers and skaters, beachgoers and townies. Find art galleries and city murals, funky neighborhoods, and historic districts. Spend the day on the water, in the park, at the game, or on the green. On the flip side, anything is possible, except running out of things to do. Learn more at visitjacksonville.com.
LSU has gone to the bullpen for the first time, and it's Ethan Plog in a 7-3 LSU lead. Ethan Plog, the left-hander.
Yeah, Cooper Moore ends up going 5 2/3, 8 hits. He's given up 3 runs. He's responsible for a runner out at second base. Walked 1 and struck out 6, and they typically, like he did his last time out, Lynn, 78 pitches, 62 of which were strikes. So fills up the strike zone. He'll give way to Ethan Plog, who's making his 3rd appearance of the year, all out of the bullpen for the Tigers. And so far, Plog has been good. 1 inning of work. He's allowed 1 hit, walked 1, and struck out 2. Ethan Plog, obviously from the left side. It's a good arm from the left side, too. Fastball's anywhere from 91. It'll tick up to 95. Curveball, slider, changeup as well.
So the base runner returns to second base. That's Vandermeed. And Dylan Passo is scheduled to hit.
Ethan Plog transfers to LSU from Iowa Western Community College. He was just there 1 year. Made 13 appearances last year, 11 of which were starts.
Mason Barth, a freshman, is going to bat for Paso. So Mason Barth will hit for Paso, the first baseman. Paso struck out and fly to center. Barth, a thick right-handed hitter with a wide stance. Ball one from Plog. Plog is trying to get the final out in the inning. That's a strike.
That's a burner there. 94 from the left side, right on the inside part of the plate.
No doubt Plog is a Packers fan. He grew up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Ethan Michael Plog. And the count is level at 2-2 now.
This was a big pickup for Jay Johnson at LSU to get Ethan Plog. Why? Because he only played 1 year of junior college ball, which means the Tigers will have him on campus for this year and next year before it'll be his draftable year.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. A call, third strike. Plog whips one over the inside part of the plate and leaves the pinch hitter Barth looking. A two-run homer in the inning by Lee, but LSU still leads. The Live Like Lou Jack's College Baseball Classic is brought to you by D1Baseball.com. No one covers college baseball like D1 Baseball, covering every game from coast to coast. D1 Baseball is the resource no college baseball fan can be without. D1Baseball.com. Well, let's see. Notre Dame is going to have to find a new first baseman. And I think that's no.
Trying to get there. Number 22 is who it is. That's going to be.
Well, that's still Parker. Now he's moved to third. We'll get this straightened out.
Vucevic has moved from third over to first is what it looks like.
But that means there's also got to be a new third baseman.
That's correct.
So Bruce Stevich is now at first. And I think that Barth, the pinch hitter, has gone over to third.
Jamie Z will go over to third base.
All right, now we're going to need to find a new second baseman. So Z has moved from second to third. Bruce Stevich has moved from third to first. And it looks like Barth, the pinch hitter, has remained in the game at second base.
Mason Barth is now the second baseman.
Did you get that?
I got it.
Z at third. Barth at second. And who's at first?
Your third baseman, Parker.
Okay. Brustevich.
Brustevich made the move from third over to first.
Gotcha.
Who's on first? What's on second?
I have no idea. The new third baseman will handle this pop-up. That's Z. Gurriel pops out, and now Stephen Milam. Milam has grounded out to his counterpart at shortstop, Noah Coy, who made a terrific play back in the first inning. He's also been hit by a pitch and scored and bounced out again to Noah Coy. Milam hitting .320. Then that means that everybody in the lineup is hitting .300 or better. Milam looking to spray the ball around and try to set the table as LSU is leading 7-3. The last 3 runs of the game have come from Notre Dame. Milam turns on that one and shoots it way out of the ballpark, but foul.
Let's see if we have the distance today on the scoreboard of the foul balls. No, I don't see it popping up yet today.
I've seen it once or twice early, but not lately. This ballpark holds about 12,000. Chairback seats. Very nice looking ballpark, very comfortable. And I love the asymmetrical angles and fence heights out in the outfield.
I do too. I don't like the old cookie cutter ballparks where everything looks the same.
Milam takes a strike.
Now a little tougher on the outfielders because you just never know where the ball's going to kick, and you get a lot of crooks like this one has here.
Yeah, but outfielders are expendable, right?
What you got to do is you got to have everybody pursuing the ball that's going to hit on the wall, because you never know where it's going to kick, especially if it hits that brick wall out in right center field.
There are lots of nooks and crannies in the outfield fence here. And there's probably 4 feet, no more than that, in a little bit of space in the right field corner to the top of the wall. Then it juts up to about 10, then it goes to about 15, then it goes to about 25, then goes back down to 10 in center field. Meanwhile, there's all kinds of angles working. Milam draws a base on balls. That's the second time he's been aboard.
And what we've noticed about this ballpark, 5-star ballpark so far, it looks like it's pretty pitcher friendly. The ball doesn't look like it carries great here. We've seen a couple of home runs here and there. It looks like it's a pretty fair ballpark.
Well, there are buildings beyond the right field wall, and there's a lounge out there, which has been a popular place for LSU fans.
I'm sure as the weather heats up during the spring and into the summer, as it gets hotter, typically balls will fly a little bit further.
The wind continues to blow right to left. And you might not be able to tell it on television, but the wall itself from the third base foul pole to the right field foul pole contains all kinds of angles that are also make potentially for interesting bounces. Here comes the familiar refrain from Tiger fans.
As he typically does, Chris Guillotte down there getting that LSU fan base stirred up.
Jake Brown is 2 for 3, a couple of singles and 2 runs scored. The passion of LSU fans toward its baseball program is unmatched. That is squibbed off the bat. Z cannot pick it up. That's probably going to go as a base hit.
And it didn't matter, Lynn, even if he would have picked it up, you're not going to throw out Jake Brown. Jake Brown, arguably the fastest Tiger on this team. He can really pick him up and put him down. Watch him get out of the box, man. Out of the box he goes. That ball's got a lot of English, and Z has to go to the backhand side. And even if he picks that ball up, he's not throwing out Jake Brown. So that'll be an infield single and a first and second. One-out situation for the Tigers here in the bottom of the sixth.
And the third base hit of the game for Jake Brown. Time is called before York gets to look at a pitch. Nobody's warming up for Notre Dame. The bullpens are in foul ground beyond the dugouts on each side. These are temporary bullpens. The permanent bullpens are still under construction as the renovation continues on this park. One of them is down the left field line and beyond the left field fence.
Yeah, you got temporary bullpens with temporary mounds. You don't see that very often. There's a good look at the temporary mound. It's just kind of a shell mound. Both bullpens have two of them. There's where the bullpens will eventually be. Or one of them, I should say.
You know what you always see when there's a contingent of LSU fans who get together? You always see T-shirts with those national championship days on them. 8 of them.
8 of them now, and 2 in the last 3 years.
Zach York ripped one way out of the ballpark yesterday over the right center field yellow line. Or at least that's what it was ruled. It was a very close rising drive. It might have knocked a few bricks loose.
Well, he got the count in his favor yesterday. Remember, it was a 2-0 count. He set on dead red. He got a fastball down the heart of the plate, and I mean, knocked it lopsided is what it looked like.
It was worthy of Lou Gehrig. The 2-1 pitch. Nubbed it to the left side again. Nice barehanded pickup, and he cannot make the play. Z ran afoul of his own pitcher. Z made a terrific pickup on the run with his bare hand, but then had to avoid his pitcher and wound up putting it in his pocket.
Yeah, I thought he had time to make this throw right here. I think Z might have forgot who was running. York does not run great. He's not slow, but right there, he's got room to make that throw right there. But I think he didn't realize who was running, put it in his back pocket, and now the bases are loaded after back-to-back infield singles.
And watch the two defenders converge on each other, too. That didn't help things at all. But I agree with you. I thought he had plenty of time after he made that terrific grab, running full speed with his bare hand.
A chance for LSU to bust this thing open.
Indeed.
Come back with 3 runs here in the last 2 innings to make a ball game out of it, but a base hit right here.
Arambidi launched one, his second home run of the year last time. He's 1 for 3. That was a 2-run shot. And nothing cheap about it as it sailed over the 400-foot sign. Here comes the runner from third. The Tigers add to their lead on a misplay at the plate. Milam scores from third. Brown advances there. And York moves up to second base.
That is a little breaking ball that gets by the catcher. It is hard to go to the backhand side and pick a breaking ball. While training the catcher, I think if he had to do that over again, he would have slid to his right a little bit and just used his chest and just knocked that ball down around home plate.
There's a good recovery pitch to Arambidi. This rally started after Curiel popped up. Milam walked, Brown singled on the infield, York singled on a bunt. swinging bunt.
Really nice breaking ball by Klosterman right there. Got to hit 2 strikes and watch him just work this ball down and away. Gets there and beat it. That's a big strikeout right there.
Yes, it is.
And now you got to deal with Seth Dardar. It feels like just about every time he comes to the plate, he finds the barrel.
He has doubled and scored. He has singled and driven in a run, and he has struck out. And he's going to be intentionally walked, the first time we've seen that this year. Why not? With first base open, why play with fire?
Yeah, I mean, you got a right-hander on deck and a freshman, and Omar Cerner Jr., and as hot as Seth Dardar has been this year, you got first base open. It makes no sense to pitch to him in this situation. Looks like Jack Ruckert will be the pinch runner for Omar Cerner Jr. down at, or actually the pinch runner for Seth Dardar down at first base.
And he'll probably stay in the game defensively at second.
My other shot. You're good.
Now another offensive timeout is called. LSU 8-3. The Tigers with 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 1 in the fifth. Or excuse me, 1 in the sixth. And they have applied pressure in most games this year very frequently.
LSU's only going in order just in 1 inning so far. That was in the 5th inning, 3 up and 3 down.
Devin Sheeran is warming up for the Tigers, the hard-throwing right-hander, who's been impressive so far out of the bullpen. Ball 1 from Kellen Klosterman. There's a strike as it splits the plate. Cerna has a teammate on every base with 2 outs and a run home. He loaded up but couldn't shoot it into fair territory. The outfield is deep and straight away. Indiana and UCF will play in the game following this one. Tigers play tomorrow. That'll wrap up the Live Like Lou Classic. And that's a 3 o'clock start Eastern time against UCF. LSU will travel home tomorrow after the game and then get ready for McNeese on Tuesday at 6:30 in Alex Fox Stadium, Skip Bertman Field. The 2-2 pitch. Cerna fouls it away again. Ben, evidently the wind swirls a little bit because the flags are blowing from right to left, but there's some loose paper in the outfield blowing from left to right. So it's a wind that, depending on where you are in the ballpark, may be totally opposite. There's the outfield wind, but there's some loose paper blowing exactly the opposite direction down on the field. The pitch to Cerna. He's fouled off several.
Pretty good battle going on between these two.
It is.
Klosterman's made some nice pitches. Cerna's fought off a few of them. Still a 2-2 count with 2 out and bases loaded.
Now we go to 3-2. As Cerna has spoiled several pitches to get to this point.
Well, the runners will be off and moving, and Jack Rucker's got some speed at first base. And this ball finds the gap, either in right center field or left center field. You could see Rucker score all the way from first base, rather.
The pitch. Ball 4. Cerna with a very productive at bat. Works for the walk and worked hard for the walk.
Jay Johnson will be super excited about that at bat by that
young man. So York moves to third after Brown scored. Rucker moved up to second. Cerna at first for Braden Simpson.
Looks like we may have a pitch hitter here.
Yeah, it's going to be Braun. Mason Braun for Simpson.
Simpson had a nice day. A 1-for-2 day with a couple of RBIs.
He had a double and an RBI. He walked with the bases loaded, and he struck out. The walk to Cerna was the second of the game from Notre Dame with the bases loaded. You don't see that very often. LSU seeking its second win in this 3-day round robin Live Like Lou Classic, and seeking its 7th win of the season.
Yeah, if you go back to last year, LSU won their final 8 games of the season last year en route to their 8th national title. So LSU, you're looking at win streaks from counting last year up to 14 consecutive wins now.
This is playable as it heads out to left field. Waters backing up. He's got room as he makes the catch on the warning track. So Braun gave it a ride, but the inning is over. LSU adds 2 to its total. It's a 9-3 game. Tigers leading Notre Dame. Want to stay up to date with the Live Like Lou Jack's College Baseball Classic all year round? Well, it's easy. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, now X, at Jack's CBC on all of our social media platforms. Ben McDonald, Len Rollins with you. LSU has never trailed in this game. The Tigers got off early and have maintained their margin against this Notre Dame team, which has come alive a little bit offensively the last couple of innings. Another very impressive start by Cooper Moore. Ethan Plog came out of the bullpen.
Looks like Mason Braun will take over in left
And
field.
Braun, yes, who was a pinch hitter for LSU, will move to the outfield. He's in left.
Yeah, I actually think Cooper Moore threw the ball better than what the numbers show. I mean, 3 earned runs is what he's going to get pegged for. But don't forget, there were 3 infield hits in that inning. Now, he did make a mistake to Jace Lee. 2-run home run on the ball left up in his zone. But all in all, I think he pitched better than 3 earned runs.
And his strikeouts to walks ratio was just as good as it was the other day when it was off the charts.
Yeah, I mean, on the season, 17 strikeouts, only 1 walk now. For Cooper Moore, and he threw another high percentage of strikes, 78 pitches a day, 62 strikes out of 78. That is a phenomenal number.
That's even better than the other day, isn't it?
The other day he was 80% strikes, and so he was right there in the ballpark again.
Now that's really easy to say, but almost never happens.
No, I mean, we talked about this. If you're throwing 65% strikes as a starting pitcher, you're better than most. I mean,
So 2 out of 3, basically.
Yeah.
And he's throwing 4 out of 5.
Exactly.
Jamie Lee looks at a breaker from Ethan Plog. Plog came on to strike out the only batter he faced last inning. Cooper Moore went 5 2/3. That's banged on a hop through the left side. So Jamie Z at the bottom of the order produces his first base hit to go along with a ground out and a strikeout. And Drew Berkland, who has grounded out twice and singled in a run, steps to the plate. Sheeran continues to warm up and getting ready in a hurry for LSU. The pitch curls inside from the lefty Ethan Plog. The Tigers lead by 6. And this may be a bit of a delay tactic to allow Sheeran to get completely ready. Not quite sure what this conversation is going to be about. And the Tigers, 1 by 1, move from their defensive positions to the mound. And the umpire says, hey, let's go.
Looks like Sheeran is ready.
.3 Eastern time. We'll see the Tigers and UCF do battle tomorrow. The pitch gets away, but no advance. Kirkland.
Here comes Jay Johnson out of the LSU dugout.
Yep, so this will be it. We expect to see a summons to Sheeran. Then I'm anxious to see Sheeran again. He has looked good in the brief outings he's had.
Remember, he's a young man last year, had ACL surgery, so missed the entire season for LSU. But his 2 appearances so far this year, Sheeran looks really good. Big time arm, big kid. Rush it up there in the upper 90s. He's going to sit right at that 95 mark.
And Sheeran is not yet brought into this game.
I like this. I mean, look, like a lot of coaches this time of the year, you're trying to get a feel for your relievers. And can they get the opposite-handed batters out, you know? Can Plog get a right-handed hitter out? And these are where you find out about your guys. And the only way you find out is you got to run them out there. And Jay Johnson's in a situation where he's got a comfortable lead, a 6-run lead as we're in the 7th inning now.
Notre Dame gets another base runner. So Berkland walks, and it'll bring on Bino Waters.
Now, Bino Waters left-hander, so probably Plog's going to stay in there.
Sheeran is ready in the bullpen.
Now, with the right-hander on deck, you get the feeling this is probably his last batter.
Nobody out. A base hit and a walk here in the 7th issued by Plog.
And Ethan Plog, just kind of starting to scatter it just a little bit. He needs to dial it back in.
He misses tight. There's a strike. It's 2-1. Notre Dame suffered a heartbreaking loss yesterday. 4-2 in extra innings. Swing and a miss and a good comeback pitch by Plog. After 6 perfect innings on the mound, Notre Dame gave up a 2-0 lead and lost it in the 10th by a 4-2 score against UCF. A long run from the left fielder who crosses over and cannot get it. It drops in foul ground. Mason Braun trying to chase that one down, but no chance to catch up with that one.
Yeah, if you missed it last night, Notre Dame starting pitcher Jack Riddell was perfect. And I don't mean perfect, I mean perfect. 6 innings of work, no runs or hits, no walks, 9 strikeouts through 68 pitches too. Is all it took for him to get there. So he was outstanding.
Bino gets a piece of that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 3-9-1 for Notre Dame. 9 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error for LSU.
That's what we talked about, Jack Riddell. 18 batters faced, 18 batters he set down.
And half of them on strikes. Waters did not swing. Now it's 3-2. And it's getting a little itchy.
Yeah, this game's getting interesting.
The pitch. Swing and a miss. Plog came back with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball and placed it where he wanted it.
Works all the way back and gets it. And Jay Johnson back out of that dugout. Now he will go to Devin Sheeran. That's a good fastball just on the outer third at 93 miles an hour.
And we'll take a timeout right here. LSU will make a pitching change. Sheeran is coming out of the bullpen to replace Plog. LSU 9, Notre Dame 3.
Logistically, even within our home and financially, ALS is a very expensive disease, and we've been fortunate to connect with different organizations, and especially the Live Like Blue Foundation. They've been wonderful with this, not only the financial support, but really the emotional and spiritual support as well.
Even though I may look different and sound different, I'm still the same person. And that inspires that, I'm still here and I'm still fighting, and this life is worth fighting for. Keep on pushing. Even if you're not in my situation, there's always an up to a down.
Devin Sheeran, who has been impressive so far early in the season, will get a chance to close out the 7th inning.
Yeah, Sheeran, a medical redshirt for LSU. He transferred from Mount St. Mary a couple years ago. Didn't pitch at all. We mentioned the ACL surgery, and you're right. His first 2 outings this year have been impressive. 2 outings, he's worked an inning and 2/3, and he has struck out 4. He's not allowed a hit or a run. Big kid out of PA, 6'5", all 255 pounds of him. Lynn, if you look at the stuff, it's big time. We've seen it. I mean, the fastball's been 94 up to 99 miles an hour. We've seen that. A curveball, slider as well. And he'll throw you occasional split-finger fastball as well.
You know what? You and Sheeran share something in common.
What's that?
He was a basketball player, too, a pretty good one.
He's got the size for it, for sure.
He was a poster player.
I could see that.
He's from Reading, Pennsylvania. He was on the SEC first-year academic honor roll last year. He'll work from the stretch, and the delivery. Slings it high and inside. That'll get your attention.
Yeah. Well, if you watch where he steps, he's going to be really tough on right-handed hitters because he steps across his body. So if you're a right-handed hitter standing in the box, he's 6'5". He's long limbs, and watch him step across his body. So the ball almost feels like it's coming just right at you.
He misses to make it 2-0. Quattroni at the plate.
It's kind of herky-jerky, Lynn, too. And it's a ball that you're probably standing at home plate. You don't pick it up very well.
Sheeran has missed 3 times. LSU was rolling in pretty quick fashion with 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth. But over the last couple of innings, Notre Dame has scored 3 runs.
That's some fuzz right there, Lynn. 98.
Yeah, that's a medium well pitch. That's a sizzler. Popped up. No play. Quattroni has a couple of singles today and a strikeout. Ooh. Well, Notre Dame keeps adding base runners to its total here in the 7th. The bases are loaded now. A walk, make it 2 walks, a strikeout, and a single in this inning. And here is Brustavovic. I've been saying it right all day. Brustavovic is exactly right. 0 for 3. The pitch. Ooh. Right now, Sheeran is not able to command that really good fastball.
Notre Dame 2 for 7 today. Runners in scoring position. A chance to make a difference right here and just climb right back in this ball game.
Indeed. And a right-hander is throwing in the bullpen for LSU. That's Dax Darthy. Darthy sees the count go to 2-0, and he now is really warming up in a hurry in the bullpen. And LSU's infield will gather to try to buy some time for a few more warm-up pitches. Well, Sheeran has yet to find the plate with any consistency. Notre Dame with the bases loaded, and Sheeran goes to 3-0.
I mean, it's not even close.
Nope. He has been all over the map with his offerings to the first 2 pitchers, first 2 hitters. There's a strike, a much needed one. Brustavovic with a 3-1 count. 1 out, the bases loaded for Notre Dame. A 6-run lead for the Tigers. The pitch way up and out. So the bases loaded walk pulls Notre Dame to within 9-4. Tigers still have a sizable lead, but Notre Dame is chipping away at it.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, the tie-in run is standing in the on-deck circle right now. Double barrel action starting to go. Darthy, you mentioned. Maverick Rizzi has started to get up and started to play catch as well.
Jace Lee at the plate. He homered last time, his second of the year. And he has struck out and grounded out. Lee with a gift swing to Sharon.
It is not a comfortable at bat off of Sharon. It's high velo, stepping across your body, herky-jerky. And on top of that, not quite sure where it's going right now.
That last pitch was recorded at 96 miles an hour. And there's a high buzzer for a strike. And Lee cannot put the ball in play as Sheeran gets a much-needed strikeout with the bases loaded. Out number 2.
But Sheeran and the Tigers not out of the woods yet.
Nope. Noah Coy. Way wide. Coy's had a good day. He has struck out, but since then he has singled and scored. Singled twice and scored.
Yeah, the Irish have 9 base hits today to go along with 4 runs.
That's just one less than LSU. That one buzzes in for a strike on the inner part of the plate. Coy hitting .333 right now. Sheeran took something off that pitch. So he works ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. LSU's crowd calling out encouragement. Sheeran to the plate. Ooh, that'll put a crease in your Stetson. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. There's a fighting Irishman on every base. The infield is back. Sheeran wants to get it done right now. That's lobbed out to Milam. He makes the knee-high catch. The inning is over as Notre Dame scores a run but leaves 3 aboard. And we move forward. LSU leading 9-4.
As the title sponsor of the Live Like Lou College Baseball Classics, we celebrate and honor Lou's legacy.
For 2,130 consecutive games, Lou Gehrig showed up for his team. Now, we ask you to show up for us.
Join us in honoring Lou's legacy and supporting the more than 30,000 individuals living with ALS across North America by making a contribution today at livelikeLou.org/forthegood.
Well, let's take you across country with Baylor in the Round Rock tournament. Baylor leading 1-0 over Purdue. So this is live action coming your way from Round Rock.
Round Rock, Texas.
One of 4 sites of early season college baseball that Peak Events and D1 Baseball presents. So a live look in there early in that game. That's the first game today in Round Rock. 1-0 early, Baylor over Purdue.
The Baylor Bears. Looks like their weather's pretty good there as well. See a lot of folks sitting with short sleeve shirts on.
72 degrees right now in Round Rock.
Take that in late February.
Oh, yeah. Round Rock, a very affluent suburb, so to speak. It's a city on its own, but in the Austin area. Back we go to the action here in Jacksonville, Florida. LSU continues to get bullpen activity. 9 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for the Tigers. 4 runs, 9 hits now for Notre Dame and 1 error. Here's Trent Carraway. He has been a marvelous low in the order hitter. And Carraway is not a guy who's going to hold anything back with a swing. He has doubled in a run, struck out, and fouled out.
Like we got a new pitcher on the mound. Aiden Zer. Number 18.
We'll check in on him. Z-E-R-R, Aiden Zer. Replacing Kellen Klosterman. This is poked out toward left. And it comes down in the glove of Bino Waters. So Carraway is 1 for 4 as he flies to left field. And Curiel will come to the plate next. At the top of the order today, he's 0 for 3. He walked in the first. Since then has struck out, grounded out, and popped up. Curiel takes a strike.
Pretty good mid-popper right there from Zer.
Yep. We are in the part of the early season, of course, where a good day or a not so good day can make averages fluctuate within great ranges. Curiel right now, after an 0 for 3 performance, he's hitting .286. He came in batting over .300. Curiel hustling down the line, but the play is made by the new pitcher, Aiden Zer. So Derek is 0 for 4. Tigers have only gone down in order once. That came a couple of innings ago. In the bottom third of the order stepped to the plate.
And I don't see any stats on my stat sheet from Aiden Zer. This looks like his very first appearance of the year for the Fighting Irish.
Milam comes up with a .320 average. He's hitless today, but he's been on base a couple of times and scored twice. He's 0 for 2 on 2 groundouts to his counterpart at shortstop, but has been plunked and walked. A strike call. Aiden Zer. Pitching to LSU in the 7th. Milam sends a twister that takes a right turn in foul territory. Dauthy continues to warm up for LSU. So it's very possible we might see Dax Dauthy. The pitch sent out to center field. It's playable. Birkland shading his eyes, now relocates it and makes the catch. A pretty good ride from Stephen Milam, but not deep enough. 9-4 Tigers as we go to the 8th.
As the title sponsor of the Live Like Lou College Baseball Classics, we celebrate and honor Lou's legacy.
For 2,130 consecutive games, Lou Gehrig showed up for his team. Now, we ask you to show up for us.
Join us in honoring Lou's legacy and supporting the more than 30,000 individuals living with ALS across North America by making a contribution today at livelikeLou.org/forthegood.
Fans, you can cast your vote for your favorite team's nominee to be named the Live Like Lou Fan Choice Community Impact Player of the Tournament. Here's what you do. Text LouJax, L-O-U-J-A-X, L-O-U-J-A-X to 50155, 50155. Or visit fanchoicejax.com to donate and vote. We'll check the Tigers defensively for you. Jack Ruckert is a late insertion at second base.
And it's like everything is going to stay the same, except for Ruckert will play second base.
And Sheeran goes back to the mound.
Of course, Notre Dame in the ACC, Lynn. The ACC is expected to have a big year. Last year, a little bit of a disappointment for the ACC. Only one team made it to Omaha. There was 9 teams that got regional bids, but only one team made it to Omaha. Of course, that was Louisville. ACC is expected to be strong again. D1 baseball again is projecting 10 teams, 10 of the 16 teams out of the ACC to make it to regional play.
Well, when you combine the SEC and the potential of the ACC, that's a pretty good chunk in the playoffs.
Yeah, it seems like, of course, the SEC 16 teams now, and I think they're projecting 13 of the 16 SEC teams to get in the postseason play. Now, there's going to be a lot of baseball play between now and that actually happens.
But if those projections were to come true, that would be, what, 23 of the 64 teams coming from those two leagues.
Different leagues, yes.
Sheeran cuts loose with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball to chase Vanamidi. Ben, I think probably polls among all the sports are least meaningful. There's a good fastball by, or a good off-speed pitch by Sheeran, and he takes care of business here with a strikeout. Let's see if he can settle in and throw some more strikes in this inning.
Pretty good slider. Just paints it right down the way. Yeah, polls don't mean a whole lot. A lot of it, obviously, preseason is based off your recruiting class, based off your returning starters, based off of your portal class that you brought in.
Here's Barth batting for the second time. He struck out.
Remember,
pinch hitter earlier.
Everybody missed on Texas A&M last year.
Oh, yeah.
Texas A&M preseason was the #1 team in the country in every publication. Talking to all the experts out there, everybody was playing for second place. It was going to be Texas A&M's year, but yet, not only was it not Texas A&M's year, they didn't even make it to postseason play. So you just never know in the game of baseball. Probably could never happen in basketball with a preseason #1 team in the country, and every publication would even make it to the field of 64, but it could happen in baseball, and it did last year.
And there are always some off brands, and I put that very much in quotes, that make noise in baseball in the postseason. Coastal Carolina being one, and others, and certainly fun to watch those fantasy stories come.
Yeah, when the mid-majors start popping up. But look, Coastal Carolina had a really good team. Kate Bodine and company last year, and of course a strong pitching staff that's returning this year. Coastal Carolina is in the mix and projected in a lot of publications to get back to Omaha this year.
Well, it wouldn't be surprising. And Sheeran has suddenly found the plate.
You can see Barth right there standing at home plate. Because Sheeran again steps across his body. Watch the rear end of the hitter right here. Watch the rear end. He's starting to kind of leak out a little bit. That's because that ball feels like it's coming right at you. If you're going to leak that front side and leak that rear end, towards that third base dugout like there, you're going to give up on the ball in the outside part of the plate. You got no chance of attacking it. But that's what Sheeran would make you do against the right-handers because of the windup and where he steps.
So 2 quick outs, and here is Jamie Z. Z is 1 for 3 at the bottom of the order.
It took Sheeran a little bit to get going, Lynn, but I tell you what, he has struck out 3 of the last, retired 4 in a row and struck out 3 of the last 4.
The pitch. That's way wide. Looking ahead for the LSU Tigers tomorrow, we remind you that it's a 3 o'clock Eastern time, 2 o'clock Baton Rouge time. And that'll wrap it up right here on D1 Baseball. If you've subscribed, obviously you have access to tonight's game between UCF and Indiana. Sheeran comes back and records a big strikeout inning.
How about punching out the side, Lynn Rollins? That's what he did. Struck out 4 of the last 5 he has faced. Tigers will take a 9-4 lead into the bottom of the 8th.
The Jacks College Baseball Classic is presented by Peak Events, home of the best outside of Omaha. Follow at peak.events on social media to keep up with the best in early season college baseball. Peak Events and D1 Baseball combining to bring you this Jacks Classic. Live like Lou, Jacks Classic. Coming up tomorrow, right here at 11 o'clock Eastern time, Indiana and Notre Dame, and LSU takes on UCF at 3 o'clock. Again, these are Eastern times. And the vernal equinox has nothing to do with tomorrow's game time.
I'm gonna give you a moment to think about this, but the color of the sky today. What are we going with today?
I'm going with cornflower.
Cornflower. All right.
Now there's some puffy meringue out there too. A strike to Jake Brown. He's 3 for 4. He flied out to left field in the first inning. Since then, he's collected 3 singles and scored 3 times. And his average has zoomed up to 419.
Aiden Zerb back on the bump for the Irish. Boy, he was good. His first outing of the year, his first inning, 3 up and 3 down.
LSU's offense has not suffered from sand in the gas tank this year so far. It has been a very challenging offense with people in every position in the batting order capable of driving in runs, getting on base.
Yeah, if you look at the stat sheet to kind of give you an idea of this offense, 9 runs on the scoreboard on 10 hits, and yet your first 2 hitters are 0 for 7 combined. Typically, a lot of offenses, your first 2 hitters go 0 for, they're not putting 9 runs on the scoreboard.
Here's a bid for the fourth base hit, and Jake Brown collects it. He pokes it the other way and gets it over the head of the shortstop, Noah Coy. So 4 consecutive hits for Jake Brown today after flying out to left field to open the game.
Jake Brown. And Jay Johnson's on record saying, look, if the Tigers are going to get back to Omaha and compete for back-to-back national titles, it's because Jake Brown had a big year in his junior year for LSU. Well, so far, he has answered the bell in a huge way for the Tigers, off to a tremendous start.
Speaking of big, here's Zach York. He has struck out, singled, and scored, flied to right, and had an infield hit back in the 6th inning. So he's 2 for 4. This will not be available for the first baseman. It's up in the stands.
A little souvenir.
York is hitting .429 as he stands at the plate.
Jake Brown looks like he's leaning over there a little bit. He's thinking about it. Tigers up by 5 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Jake Brown's got 1 stolen base on the year. Tigers haven't run a ton so far this year.
The shift is on. There goes the runner, and he makes it easily.
That almost looked like an old delayed steal right there. Just kind of shuffle like you're not going, and then all of a sudden Jake Brown took off and took an extra 90, picks up his second base, or stolen base of the season, I should say.
And I think the fact that the shortstop, who had the responsibility of covering at second base and really wasn't paying much attention to Jake Brown, I think Jake Brown noticed that. It's also a different angle the shortstop's got to take to cover the bag from the right side of the diamond.
Yeah, when you start shifting it, it can present some challenges, especially on turning double plays. There's a big hole at the shortstop position because the third baseman's kind of at home where he has to be just in case Jake Brown steals the bag.
York taps that one weakly. Back to Zur. And York is retired. Jake Brown holds on at second base. That was a pretty good pitch. It had York out in front.
No, Zur's been good.
Here's Aaron Beatty, 1 for 4. But the 1 was his second home run of the year. It came with a teammate aboard.
It was loud too, Lynn. I'm talking about straight away center field off the batter's eye.
Off the just above the 400-foot sign out there.
Here at ViStar Ballpark. It takes a poke to get it out there.
Aaron Beatty carries a .385 average to the plate right here. Couple of home runs, 7 driven in. Barth had to reach out and snare that one. It was ticketed towards center field, but he's able to grab it. There's a looking strike. 1 out. Jake Brown at second base. LSU up by 5 in the 8th. Notre Dame We'll have the top of the order. Or certainly part of it as we work in the 9th inning. Barth does a good job of getting over there to his left and making the out. Brown moves up. Aaron Beatty almost was able to drive it the other way through, but Barth hustled to his left to grab it. And here is Rucker, the new second baseman for the Tigers. It's his first at bat. He was a pinch runner for Dardar back in the 6th. Dardar had walked. Ruckert went in to pinch run and stayed in the game as a defensive replacement.
And Dardar had another good day offensively.
Yes,
3 with an RBI on base, 3 of his 4 at bats.
Ruckert has the best batting average on the team, 2 for 2. LSU has never trailed. Timeout is called. A bullpen ball is loose.
It was early and often for the Tigers.
Yes.
2 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th.
At one time the lead was 7-0 after 4. Ruckert lifts this to shallow left field. Waters is there, and the inning is over. So Brown was left on the base paths after a single, and the Tigers go to the 9th, carrying a 5-run lead.
In 1939, Lou Gehrig selflessly took himself out of the Yankees starting lineup for the good of the team.
Showing the same humility, courage, and determination that inspire our values and our work each and every day.
Humility, courage, determination.
As the title sponsor of the Live Like Lou College Baseball Classics, we celebrate and honor Lou's legacy.
Together, we are uniting coaches, athletes, fans to leave ALS better than we found it.
For 2,130 consecutive games, Lou Gehrig showed up for his team. Now, we ask you to show up for us.
Join us in honoring Lou's legacy and supporting the more than 30,000 individuals living with ALS across North America by making a contribution today at livelikelou.org/forthegood.
LSU has made another pitching change. Devin Sharon, the last LSU pitcher, couldn't find the strike zone very effectively early in his outing, but then finished with 4 strikeouts out of the last 5 batters as he got into a groove. And now it's Dax Daughtry, who's going to pitch the 9th for the Tigers.
Yeah, Daughtry making his 3rd appearance of the year for the Tigers. They've all been out of the bullpen. He's going to inning in 2/3 so far, gave up 1 run. Has not walked the batter with 3 strikeouts. Opponent's hitting 167 off the right-hander, Daughtry.
So LSU is 3 outs away from claiming its 7th victory of the year and going 2 up and none down in the tournament.
Let's give Aiden Zerd a little love, too, for Notre Dame. He ends up going 2 shutout innings.
Yep.
For the Fighting Irish out of the bullpen.
Drew Berkland at the top of the order. Been on base a couple of times, an RBI single and a walk. He's 1 for 3. hitting only 136 at the top of the order. That's after a base hit today. Duffy works in the first one for a strike. Then we are still at the point of the season where everybody is paying keen attention to every single relief pitcher, as the order of things, the pecking order, is certainly yet to be determined.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that's what every team uses the pre-conference schedule for. There's so many new guys. I mean, LSU's got 19 returners, 20 new players. Notre Dame's got a new team as well, a young team. I think that's what all coaches are doing this time of year. February and March, you try to get it figured out, and you kind of land on a pecking order for your bullpen, your weekend rotation as conference play rolls around, and then it could change from there as well.
But some of these guys who don't have a lot of history can make a name for themselves and carve out a role and a niche, and maybe come from a place that is not prominent into something that is very meaningful. That's what Duffy's trying to do, and he strikes out Berkland on 4 pitches.
Sweep and breaking ball from Duffy to Berkland. That just kind of works it. More of a cut fastball just off the outside edge.
Here's Bino Waters. And the shift is on for Bino. 1 for 4 today. He had an infield hit in the first. Couple of fly balls to center and a strikeout since then. Duffy comes in pumping strikes.
2 more swings like that, Bino.
Duffy, a redshirt senior out of Round Rock, Texas.
That's hit right to Milam, who was in the right place for the shift. That would have been a very tough play for the second baseman had the shift not been on. Milam was in the right place at the right time. So 2 quick outs. Duffy has erased a couple of Fighting Irishmen, but a variety of strikes early, and this brings on Quattrani, representing the last hope for Notre Dame. He's 2 for 3, couple of singles, a walk, and a strikeout. That came in the first. So Cooper Moore very close to gaining his second victory of the year. Dan, how many strikeouts do you have for the LSU staff today?
I have 13.
That's what I've got too.
13 strikeouts and 4 walks is what I have. What's odd, though, on the scoreboard is showing LSU with 11 hits, but I actually have LSU with 12 hits, and so does Stat Broadcast has LSU with 12 hits. So I don't know where the confusion is with that. Not that it matters. Well, it might matter to somebody.
Whoever got the 12th hit, it matters to him. The pitch. Ooh, that's behind the hitter. You ever throw behind somebody accidentally?
Not accidentally.
I'm reading something into that.
Not accidentally, no.
Did you ever hit the backstop on the fly?
Not accidentally.
The pitch. Ooh, just a little bit high.
Every now and then while you warm up, you like to cut one loose against the backstop just to get the batter to feel like, man, he's throwing hard and not quite sure where it's going.
Did you ever scatter somebody in the on-deck circle?
No, I never got that far over, no. It'd be almost impossible to miss that much.
The 2-2. That almost hit him, and we go to a full count. So Duffy trying to get the final out on the final strike. And the Tigers are poised to go to 7 wins and no losses. Duffy rocks and fires. He got the strikeout. How about that? Coming out of the bullpen, Duffy, 1, 2, 3. And the LSU Tigers celebrate victory number 7.
Yeah, I thought Cooper Moore set the tone. He had a nice day for the Tigers right at the top. Ends up going 5 2/3, striking out 6 with 3 runs. From an offensive standpoint, the Tigers do it yet again. I think that Jake Brown goes 4 for 5. York had 2 hits of his own. Of course, Cade Arambidi had a home run, his second long ball of the year. He drove in a couple. Seth Dardar looked really good again. And I thought the bottom part of that lineup for LSU really did some damage. The freshman Omar Cerna Jr., 1 for 3, drove in a couple. Braden Simpson drove in 2 as well. And of course, Trent Caraway continues to stay hot in that 9-hole. He had an RBI and a double as well.
Well, I think you pointed out during the game that there was so much constant pressure for LSU as the Tigers score in a lot of innings. Let's go down to Jack DeLongchamp. He's with Coach Jay Johnson. Jack.
Hey, thanks, Lynn. Thanks, Ben. Coach Johnson, the best start to your career here at LSU, man. What's so special about this group of guys?
They love competing. They're very into what we're doing right now. There's no carryover from a championship season last year. Very team-oriented. You see the excitement when one of their brothers, one of their teammates goes out there and performs at the plate or the mound. It's like the guy that probably wants to be in there is supporting him like he's doing it himself, and that's a great quality.
Dardar and Dathey and Simpson, these portal guys, they feel like they've come in right away and adapted to LSU culture. What do you want college baseball fans around the country to know about this group?
They're very serious about what we're doing. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the half in. You have to be all in and all in on now, and that's our motto for the year. So these guys so far are. It's get harder. It's going to get tested more, but I like where we're at standing here today.
We're in the Sunshine State, but it sure sounded like the box. How about LSU faithful showing up big here at Peak Events?
Sweet. And we get the night game off, and we don't have the morning game tomorrow, so they can enjoy a nice dinner, and hopefully they're getting ready for the Central Florida game tomorrow.
Coach Johnson, appreciate your time. And now our player of the game, it's 2-4. The transfer portal stud. He's traded in purple for purple. It's Mr. Seth Dardar. Oh, dude. I mean, absolutely locked in, hitting .444 to start this season. You had 2 more knocks today. What's allowed you to get off to such a blistering start?
Honestly, I think it's the name across my chest. I'm not really playing for myself. It's more LSU. I've been a fan my entire life, so I think that's been the key.
I keep hearing the word brotherhood, but a lot of you guys just met. What's it like playing with this group of dudes?
It's awesome. I can't describe it. For me, obviously, I've been a lifelong LSU fan, so coming here was like the ultimate dream, but everybody, even the guys from all the way across the country, California, we've kind of blended together really well, so it's been awesome.
You committed to LSU, playing in front of these fans. Has it been everything that you expected?
Yeah, and more. Everything I've ever dreamed of.
Seth Dardar, today's player of the game at the Live Like Lou Jacks Classic. Congratulations, my man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll send things back upstairs to you, Lynn, Ben. Appreciate you. LSU victorious in Game 3.
Okay, Jack, thank you so much. Seth Dardar doubled his first time, had an RBI single, and certainly was part of the early tone set by LSU. Final thoughts, Ben, as the Tigers go 7 up and none down.
Yeah, I think it was a better, more well-played game by LSU today. I'm impressed by Notre Dame. It's a very, very young team, and they fought back pretty hard. But at the end of the day, the number 2 team in the country, just a little bit too much for them. So William Schmidt will be on the bump tomorrow against UCF for LSU. I haven't heard of a starter yet for UCF, but we'll get that information shortly. But a chance for LSU to win this tournament tomorrow.
No question about that. And it is a 3 o'clock start against UCF Eastern Time, 2 o'clock start Baton Rouge time. So that wraps it up. The LSU Tigers are a winner. For Jack DeLongchamp and Ben McDonald, I'm Lynn Rollins. This has been a presentation of Peak Events and D1 Baseball. We'll see you tomorrow again from Jacksonville, 3 o'clock start time Eastern Time, as UCF and the Tigers do battle. Good afternoon from sunny Jacksonville.